Chapter 1448. 1448, Chapter 1448, Evil Dragon Mountain Qin. Yin gritted his teeth and looked at Xie Patriarch fiercely. He said coldly, "You will regret bringing me to the evil Yang world." He also saw that the huge black ball floating in the air is the outer shell of the sun's core. Regret? What I have to regret? You are already a prisoner. You have no chance to turn things around. After you enter the evil Dragon Mountain, you will die for sure. Of course, you won't die so quickly. You will die slowly and painfully. Xie Patriarch laughed and said. The other Xie people also laughed loudly. Not long after, Qin Yun saw the evil Dragon Mountain. Its entire body is pitch black, like a very thick black pillar, standing upright on the grassland in front of him. The evil Dragon Mountain is cylindrical and 10,000 meters wide. It is very huge. Looking at it from far away, it is very shocking. The most terrifying thing is the evil aura that is floating out. After approaching, all kinds of miserable screams can be heard coming from inside. The entrance is a spatial entrance. One can only enter and not come out. Evil Dragon Mountain is a cultivation holy land given to us by Xie. Those who come out are all incomparably powerful geniuses. I fought my way out from the first floor. Xie Patriarch chuckled and said, "If you think you have the ability, then fight your way out." An old man said with sneer, "How can he do it? He is still a Xian immortal right now, right? If he goes in, it will be good if he can live for 3 days. Qin Yin, don't be afraid. There are 9 floors inside the evil Dragon Mountain. The strongest in the first floor is only a first-layer Earth immortal. Your strength is very good. You can definitely live for a few more days." Xie Patriarch laughed and pushed Qin Yun into the black spatial door. After Qin Yun entered, the people outside started cheering. There's a large crystal wall outside. One can see the situation inside. Xie race people usually watch the people inside the evil Dragon Mountain kill each other to pass their time or to learn the ruthlessness of others. After Qin Yin was pushed in, his body is still tied up by many iron chains. Those iron chains pierced through his body and tied him up. If he doesn't break free from those iron chains, he won't be able to move at all. "Patriarch, that guy has the sun-suppressing divine arrow. It won't be a problem, right?" An old man looked at the large crystal wall and saw Qin Yin lying on the ground and said worriedly, "It's fine. The reason why the sun-suppressing divine arrow is so powerful is mainly because of the sun core. The sun core is ours now. Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow has also become scrap metal." Patriarch Xie proudly smiled and said, "Let's see how this guy gets beaten up." Qin Yun is lying on the ground. He raised his head and saw that this is a very spacious mountain. There was a bright light source in the belly of the mountain, so it wasn't dark or humid at all. Moreover, there were many caves in the surrounding stone walls. Those caves were neatly arranged. They should have been excavated during the construction of the evil Dragon Mountain. These caves are in Yun. They are all. They an evil dragon. And they. Yun, Qin Yin said. Dragon Mountain is. Tian, the Dragon Mountain is Yang Dragon. And the Dragon Mountain is Yin Mountain. Dragon Mountain is long. He Dragon is Yang Yun is. Dragon Mountain is Yang Dragon Mountain is Yun. Dragon Mountain is. It. And Yun, Dragon Mountain is Yun is. Dragon Mountain is protected by evil sun's power. So long as one can enter first floor and fight their way to 9th floor, they will be like a dragon. Even if they are prisoners, they will be respected. Of course, this is the first time a person from another race has been brought in. Qin Yun used his formidable mental power to control the chains on his body, bit by bit. He also released tree vines to pull the chains out of the bloody holes on his body. Not long after, those bloody chains have been taken away by Qin Yun. People outside the Dragon Mountain are startled seeing this scene. They thought that Qin Yun would be tied up forever. An old man said in low voice, "Patriarch, are we not tied up tightly? How do you get rid of it so quickly?" "Don't worry, this guy won't be able to live for long." Patriarch Xie is also in a bad mood because he wants to see Qin Yun beaten up. Qin Yun is sitting on the ground and looking at the quiet battlefield. Although it is very quiet here, a wave of ruthless aura is drifting out from inside the cave. There is no one fighting here, and the geniuses guarding the first floor are also nowhere to be seen. Could it be that there is no one here? Qin Yun tried and found out that he can't fly here. Suddenly, someone came out of cave. The person who came out is a bald, large man. His upper body is bare. There are many red tattoos on his body. He looks very scary. After he saw Qin Yun, he loudly shouted, "Newcomers have come in." Prisoners immediately came out of many caves. Qin Yun can also see that there is not only one person inside these caves. Many people are coming out one after another. In the blink of an eye, several hundred people came out of several tens of caves. Qin Yun's body is full of injuries. There are many bloody holes on his body. He looks very weak. However, other people are not approaching because they don't know who this person is. After Patriarch Xieyong saw this, he cursed, "These prisoners, why are they not going to kill Qin Yun?" "Patriarch, you don't know. Those prisoners are from several gangs. They are now united, and the geniuses we sent to guard don't dare to suppress them." A middle-aged man walked over and said, "However, Qin Yun is not from our Xieyong race. No one will like him inside." Patriarch Xieyong said somewhat angrily, "Where are the geniuses we sent? Where did they all die? I haven't been paying attention to Evil Dragon Mountain for a while. How did it become like this?" During this period of time, Patriarch Xieyong often went to heart-protecting Divine Race's tribe, adding on the fact that he hasn't been paying attention to Evil Dragon Mountain for a long time. He doesn't know what is going on inside. "Patriarch, we have too few geniuses. Should we send a few more?" An old man said in low voice, "Of course, once they go in, they will need to clear 9 floors to come out, so don't send them in for now. Once they go in, who knows when they will be able to come out." Patriarch Xieyong waved his hand and said, "Patriarch, don't worry. The geniuses we sent in all have a lot of good equipment. It will be enough to deal with those prisoners." An old man said, and suddenly became worried, "Qin Yun is from Immortal Desolate, and he has a saint artifact. I wonder if he has it with him? I don't think so. If he had a saint artifact, he would have already taken it out to deal with us." Patriarch Xieyong said, but in his heart, he started to worry. He suddenly felt that he was too reckless. He shouldn't have thrown Qin Yun into Evil Dragon Mountain so carelessly. The old man saw through Patriarch Xieyong's worry and said, "Patriarch, Qin Yun won't be able to come out in a short time, unless he can cultivate to the 9th level of Earth Celestial stage. But that is impossible. Even if he comes out, we can wait for him at the top of the mountain. All right, let's go take a look at the sun's heart. If Qin Yun has any movement, report to me immediately." Patriarch Xieyong looked at the black ball in the sky. He suddenly became very excited. After being sent here for so many years, they finally got a sun's heart. Qin Yun was in the first floor of Evil Dragon Mountain. He was sitting on the ground and healing his injuries. He was now surrounded by hundreds of people because he released a very strong Earth Celestial stage aura, so the prisoners here didn't dare to come close. "Bro, why were you sent in here? What did you do?" a young man asked curiously. Qin Yun's entire body was covered in blood. His hair was in a mess. Although he didn't have the aura of the Xieyong race, he didn't hide his aura, so he gave off the aura of an expert. "Killed someone," Qin Yun said. "Oh, who did you kill? Who was actually imprisoned in Evil Dragon Mountain?" The young man continued to ask. "Xieyuan Feng." Qin Yun laughed. "Do you know this guy? This idiot, it's really not easy to not know him. You actually killed him." The young man was very shocked. The others were also discussing in shock. Qin Yun also saw that the aura of the prisoners here was not weak. Some of them even had a very frightening evil aura. The people here were only wearing shorts or trousers. Their upper bodies were bare, revealing their developed muscles. They didn't have any equipment. From a cave, a tall and sturdy young man suddenly walked out. He was wearing a set of black armor, and beside him were 2 seductive women. The 2 women were both wearing thin clothes, and their curvaceous bodies could be vaguely seen through them. When the prisoners here saw the 2 women, their eyes all stared blankly. Although they had seen them many times, every time they saw them, they would have an impulse. The young man who walked out is wearing armor and holding a black greatsword in his hand. They are all very good equipment. When the others saw this young man come out, they immediately retreated. Obviously, this young man is a genius who came here to gain experience. He is also someone who has seen the prisoners. Did you just come in? Do you know the rules here? The young man walked over and said coldly, "Newcomers who just entered Evil Dragon Mountain must serve me for a year and be my servant. Only then can you live. And if I don't?" Qinyan looked at the young man and said coldly, "If you don't, then I'll make you live a life worse than death." The young man laughed sinisterly. "Quickly lick my boots clean." On the young man's boots, there is black blood and some minced meat. He must have just trampled someone to death. "I won't lick," Qinyan said coldly. "Oh, you don't want to be my servant?" The young man's expression sank. He furiously said, "Then you are dead for sure." Qinyan's body is injured. Although he is an earth immortal, because there are several bloody holes on his body, he gives people a feeling that he is easy to deal with. The young man signaled the two seductive women with his eyes and said, "You two go over and chop off his arms. Consider it as a gift for you to eat." Chapter 1449. 1449 Chapter 1449 Xie, Yaoju and the prisoners in the Evil Dragon Mountain don't have any equipment. Only the geniuses who came to train and watch over the prisoners have many powerful equipment. In this first floor, they're all first-layer Earth immortals. Even if their strength is outstanding, they're still far from being able to deal with geniuses with equipment. Those two bewitching women have sharp, short swords in their hands. They are also first-layer Earth immortals. Everyone thinks that they will definitely succeed and cut off Qinyan's arm. They are now very excited as they flew over. Their faces are filled with ruthlessness. It can be seen how much they want to eat meat. Qinyan already knew that the majority of Xie race people are very savage, let alone people in an environment like the Evil Dragon Mountain. Too slow. Qinyan is very disdainful in his heart and promptly released many thick and hard tree vines. Those black tree vines were released by Qinyan and very nimbly and quickly tied up the two bewitching women. In just a few blinks of an eye, the two bewitching women were tightly tied up. Their faces are filled with horror. They frantically struggled but were unable to break free. "Master, quickly save us!" A woman shouted in alarm. Although she has a sharp, short sword in her hand, and the earth immortal power on her body is also very strong, she is unable to break free from those tree vines. When the armored youth saw how powerful the tree vines are, he realized that Qinyan has some strength. However, he did not make a move. Instead, he shouted coldly, "Quickly release my two female slaves, or I will make you wish you were dead instead of alive. They want to cut off my arm. How can I let them go?" Qinyan looked at the two tightly tied women on the ground and said with sneer, "Let them go, then obediently let them cut off your arm and lick my shoes clean. I guarantee that in the next year, you will be able to live well in this first floor." The youth is somewhat angry and raised his voice. Qinyan cannot help but laugh and said mockingly, "You are truly arrogant. I will count to 3, quickly release them, and do as I said just now. This is your last chance." The youth tightly gripped the large sword in his hand. His expression suddenly became somewhat sinister because he felt that his dignity has been provoked. The other prisoners here did not dare to make a sound at this moment. They all retreated to the wall and surrounded it to watch. They all feel that Qinyan is finished. Everyone knows that in the Evil Dragon Mountain, one must never provoke the genius guarding the prisoners. Those geniuses could kill at will, and they had many powerful equipment on them. Furthermore, if they were injured, there would be people who would send in medicinal herbs from the outside. Furthermore, they could often obtain various resources. Geniuses who came here to train, once they passed the 9th level of the Evil Dragon Mountain, they would definitely become powerful 9th Heaven Earth immortals. Even the Patriarch valued these warriors very much. And the geniuses who dare to enter Evil Dragon Mountain for this kind of training are all ruthless characters. They're all extremely arrogant. They are all people who kill without batting an eye. 1, 2, 3. After that youth finished shouting, Qin Yin still did not let go of the two bewitching women. He wants to see how that youth will deal with him. You are openly challenging me, Xie Yaojun. The young man was furious. He waved the black sword in his hand and swung it at the two coquettish women on the ground. Two terrifying black sword chi flew out and cut those tree vines in half. The two coquettish women also screamed miserably because their bodies have been injured by the sword energy and are dripping with blood. You two useless slaves, go to hell. Xie Yaojun's eyes are spewing out evil energy. He took out two pearls and threw them out. The two pearls landed on the bodies of the two coquettish women and then burst into raging flames. In just a blink of an eye, the two women were burned to black ashes. These prisoners are not unfamiliar with this kind of thing. They are secretly alarmed in their hearts. Xie Yaojun looked at Qin Yin, who was sitting on the ground, and said with evil smile, "You want me to kill you with my own hands, right? Stop dreaming. You are not worthy of being killed by me. I don't even want to touch you." After he finished speaking, he waved his hand, and 10 bare-chested, robust men walked over. They are his slaves. Go and capture him. Don't kill him. Just torture him. If you don't make him suffer a fate worse than death, I will make you suffer a fate worse than death. After Xie Yaojun finished speaking, someone brought over a large stone chair for him to sit on. At this moment, the Xieyang clansmen outside the Evil Dragon Mountain also know that a good show is about to begin and immediately cheered. Qin Yin is injured. He does not want to engage in an intense battle, but right now he is not allowed to rest in peace. Seeing the 10 robust men come over, Qin Yin took out 10 iron chains. They are the 4 that pierced his body before. They are very good tools. Originally, it was in the hands of the Xieyang clan leader and a dozen or so 9th stage Earth Immortals. They thought that after sending Qin Yin to the Evil Dragon Mountain, the iron chains would be obtained by the geniuses guarding the prisoners. However, Qin Yin can undo it himself, so it fell into Qin Yun's hands. Qin Yin frowned. The nether moon that has fused with his soul suddenly surged out a very strong mental power. This mental power has been cultivated by the one thought Imperial Heaven Art. At this moment, he is using this kind of mental power. With a thought, he can control the 10 iron chains to fly out like electric snakes. At the end of the iron chains, there are barbed spikes that can easily pierce through the body. Just as the 10 robust men were about to come over, they saw the iron chain in Qin Yun's hands suddenly turn into 10 and fly over like light. This made it impossible for them to defend. The next scene shocked everyone inside and outside the Evil Dragon Mountain to the point of being tongue-tied. Those iron chains actually pierced through the heads of the 10 robust men in an instant. Qin Yun grabbed the end of the 10 iron chains and released his Earth Immortal power. It contains the violent power of the heavenly Tao flame and injected a violent flame. The Earth Immortal power that carried the flame rushed out through the iron chains and turned the iron chains into fire chains in an instant. Then, it poured into the heads of the 10 robust men. In the blink of an eye, the heads of the 10 robust men are emitting fire. They're like 10 torches standing there, all dead. Qin Yun vigorously pulled back the 10 iron chains. Xie Yaojun, who is sitting on the stone chair, originally planned to enjoy the process of Qin Yun being tortured. He was still very calm, but now he can no longer remain calm. Although Qin Yun seems to be injured, his strength is still very strong. Bang! The 10 blazing robust men suddenly fell down. The people outside the Evil Dragon Mountain saw this scene through the crystal wall. After a moment of silence, they burst into loud shouts. They all hurriedly contacted Patriarch Xieyang. Patriarch Xieyang, who just left not long ago, immediately rushed over. After knowing what happened, he continuously cursed. The expressions of the more than 10 elders who came with Patriarch Xieyang are also unsightly, because the iron chains they used to bind Qin Yun have actually become a very good weapon for Qin Yun. What exactly is this bastard's cultivation? Patriarch Xieyang cursed in a low voice. That guy Su Tiangao said that his cultivation is definitely not higher than the 5th level of the Xian Immortal Realm. I don't know. If this guy's cultivation is at the 9th level of the Xian Immortal Realm, then with his potential, it should not be a problem for him to deal with a first-level Earth Immortal. After all, he was chosen by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He should have some ability. An old man is also somewhat anxious. Patriarch Xieyang is now regretting he should not have let Qin Yun into the evil dragon mountain. One must know that even he, the Patriarch, is unable to enter the first level of the evil dragon mountain. This is the evil dragon mountain that Xieyang gave them to train. The restrictions are very strict, mainly to allow people to grow in a closed environment. If they can't break through, they can't leave the mountain. Qin Yun coldly looked at Xieyao Jun, who is sitting on a stone chair. Xieyao Jun slowly stood up, holding the big sword in his hand. He said coldly, "It seems like you have some strength. You are qualified for me to take action." As he spoke, he took out a piece of skin and wiped the big sword in his hand. Looking carefully, that piece of skin is human skin. Patriarch Xieyang, who was looking at the crystal wall outside, asked, "This kid should be Xieyao Jun, right? How strong is he?" Patriarch Xieyao Jun is very strong. He is the strongest first-level Earth Immortal of our Xieyang race. He once defeated 10 first-level Earth Immortal Ghost Beasts with his bare hands. An old man proudly laughed and said, "This kid is my grandson." Third Elder, your grandson is indeed very strong. To be able to defeat 10 first-level Earth Immortal Ghost Beasts with his bare hands, very good, very good. Patriarch Xieyang laughed and said, "Now I am relieved. I hope he can torture Qin Yun to death." The third elder chuckled and said, "Yao Jun will not kill Qin Yun in an instant. Instead, he will let him die slowly." The ghost beast that fought against him back then had a lot of resentment before it died. It was also because it was tortured badly by him that it died. At this moment, other people outside the evil dragon mountain are all shouting Xieyao Jun's name. After Xieyao Jun wiped the big black sword in his hand, he suddenly looked at Qin Yun. His eyes burst with cold light filled with killing intent. Everyone inside and outside the evil dragon mountain can feel Xieyao Jun's ruthless killing intent. Especially the prisoners in the first level of the evil dragon mountain. They all feel incomparable fear. Xieyao Jun's body suddenly turned into a black shadow and rushed towards Qin Yun like a black light. Qin Yun's eyes slightly widened. He immediately caught sight of Xieyao Jun's fast figure. He also admitted that Xieyao Jun's speed is very fast, but he can still clearly see Xieyao Jun's appearance when he moves. Hua hua hua. The 10 chains he controlled suddenly soared up, and in the blink of an eye, they interweaved into an iron chain net and enveloped Xieyao Jun. Xieyao Jun didn't expect that the 10 chains would suddenly turn into a net. He can only give up attacking Qin Yun and quickly change direction. When Qin Yun saw that Xieyao Jun's attack has been disrupted, his eyes shot out a white light. He used light, transformation's sacred pupil, to turn his body into white light and arrived beside Xieyao Jun. He suddenly pointed with his 2 fingers. The exploding heaven finger power that has been condensed for a long time shot out and rushed towards Xieyao Jun's head. Boom! Chapter 1450. 10 warriors, if not for the armor protecting Xieyao Jun's body. That attack just now would have been enough to shatter his head. His face was covered in blood. His face was cracked open and bleeding. That kind of burning pain caused his heart to be filled with fear. After he was sent flying, he landed heavily on the ground and then crawled up in panic. He, who was originally filled with cold arrogance and tyranny, is now filled with deep fear. Qin Yun's attack just now was enough to display his formidable power. Although Xieyao Jun is very arrogant, in front of Qin Yun's formidable power, he immediately became much more clear-headed. He knows very well how terrifying Qin Yun's strength is. When Xieyao Jun saw Qin Yun's indifferent eyes, he revealed a terrifying killing intent. He couldn't help but shout, Don't kill me." The people outside all found it hard to believe when they saw Xieyao Jun being beaten to the point of begging for mercy. Xieyao Jun is the strongest first-stage Earth Immortal in their Xieyang race, and he even has equipment on him. But now he was defeated in one move. They all felt that this was too bizarre because in their eyes, Qin Yun was not an Earth immortal at all. Yet, he was able to defeat Xie Yaojun, a first-stage Earth immortal. One must know that the people of the Xieyang race felt that only a second-stage Earth immortal could defeat Xie Yaojun. If they wanted to instantly kill Xie Yaojun, they would need a third-stage Earth immortal to come. Qin Yun did not say anything and raised his hand. Xie Yaojun immediately knelt on the ground, kowtowed, and shouted, don't kill me, just treat me like a dog." This caused everyone to be stunned. Whether it is the group of prisoners or the Xieyang race people outside, they're all stunned, especially the third elder and the Xieyang clan leader. They wished that they could pinch Xie Yaojun to death. He actually did such a shameful thing. How can this Qin Yun's strength be so terrifying? The third elder said in a deep voice, "Could he be an Earth immortal? This is impossible. 3 months ago, he was only a first-stage Xian immortal. Furthermore, he and Xiao Yuelon only ate 150 divine fruits each. How much could they grow?" The Xieyang clan leader cursed in a low voice. During the assessment, although they were powerful, that was because they had the sun-suppressing divine arrow in their hands. The third elder looked at the gigantic black ball in the sky and said, "The sun core has been obtained by us." The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hands should have become scrap metal. It's impossible for him to be that powerful. Third elder, your grandson is about to die. Xieyang Patriarch said, "That is also your fault. You didn't understand this guy's strength and locked him up in Evil Dragon Mountain." Third elder said with reproachful expression, "What does that have to do with me? Back then, you guys easily captured him, and you guys were also in charge of escorting him. I was only in charge of whipping him. Why didn't you find out his true strength back then?" Xieyang clan master felt that he was a wise man, and he would never admit that he was wrong. Qin Yun was heavily injured. After all, his body was pierced by the chains, and he was beaten by Xieyang Patriarch. If he killed Xie Yaojun now, he would use up the last bit of strength in his body. If the surrounding prisoners besieged him, even if he didn't die, he would be crippled. "I won't kill you, but you have to promise absolute loyalty to me." Qin Yun put down his hand and said indifferently. His aura is still not reduced, especially that Heavenly Tao's ferocious aura. It makes the prisoners feel like they are suffocating. "Master, I am absolutely loyal to you." Although Xie Yaojun's face is covered in blood, he still respectfully knelt down and bowed down. Xie Yaojun despises other people's lives very much because he feels that he is a strong expert. Now, he knows that in front of a strong expert, his life is very cheap. If he doesn't make his master happy, he will be killed. Xie Yaojun has trained many servants, so he knows very well how to be a servant. "All right, I want to rest. You guard the cave entrance and don't let anyone in." Qin Yun spoke and walked towards Xie Yaojun's cave. Xie Yaojun's cave entrance is different from the others. There's a thick black door outside. After Qin Yun entered, he closed the door and took out the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet to block the entrance. He can finally feel a lot more at ease now. "Xiao Yun, that Xie Yaojun should have only temporarily surrendered to you," Ling Yuner said. After Qin Yun entered the cave, he saw that it is very luxurious, but he burned it down because he doesn't like the smell. "Don't be afraid of him. As long as my injuries recover, even 10 of them will not be my match." Qin Yun sat in the flame, closed his eyes, and healed. Ling Yuner laughed tenderly and said, "That Xieyang Patriarch is really stupid. Locking you in the Evil Dragon Mountain is giving you a chance." Qin Yun said with a smile, "That's right. As long as I recover from my injuries, I can start using the Sun Core to cultivate. The true Sun Core is inside Qin Yun's 9 Sun Divine Spirit. Moreover, absorbing it through the 9 Sun Divine Spirit can be even faster." Xieyang Patriarch, the third elder, and a large group of Xieyang race elders are all staring angrily at Qin Yun. People like them who are more than first layer Earth immortal can't enter the first floor. If they enter the spatial door, they can only go to the top of the mountain. If they want to deal with Qin Yun, they need to send first layer Earth immortals in. Xieyang Patriarch said, How about this? We each send a descendant in, a total of 10 should be able to take down Qin Yun. This, my family's first layer Earth immortal descendants are not very good, an old man said. We should take our time to think about it. Take our time to think about it. Qin Yun is seriously injured and has consumed a lot of energy. It is the best time to deal with him. The third elder said, Didn't you see? Qin Yun didn't kill Yao Jun because he wanted to preserve his last bit of power. Xieyang Patriarch nodded and said, He was captured and injured by us. Moreover, he was whipped by me along the way. His injuries are very serious. To be able to defeat Xie Yao Jun, he must have used a secret technique to overdraft his energy. Now is his weakest moment. The third elder said, Quickly, everyone send people, equipment, send a first layer Earth Immortal in to kill Qin Yun. Many elders are not happy because after sending people in, they need to cultivate to the 9th layer Earth Immortal to come out. Moreover, in the higher floors, the stronger the prisoners will be, it will be life-threatening. Forget it. Let Qin Yun stay inside. He won't be able to leave Evil Dragon Mountain in the end anyway. Even if he is lucky enough to reach the 9th floor, it won't be too late for us old guys to take action. An elder said, Don't waste manpower and resources. Leave them to deal with Yang family. Just first layer Earth Immortal, what is there to waste? If you don't send people to kill Qin Yun quickly, then when he comes out as a 9th layer Earth Immortal, we will all be in trouble. Xieyang Patriarch groaned. He just wants to kill Qin Yun quickly. Otherwise, people will laugh at his stupid decision of sending Qin Yun to Evil Dragon Mountain. The third elder also wants to kill Qin Yun. Only this way, Xie Yao Jun will not be enslaved by Qin Yun. If word gets out that his grandson is being enslaved, he will be laughed at. The other elders are not willing because they are worried that their descendants will be killed after going in. They have seen Qin Yun's formidable power. Moreover, Qin Yun has the iron chain they gave him. If you don't send people, then don't even think about sharing the credit of obtaining the Sun Core. Xieyang Clan Master said coldly, You know, it was my decision to work with the Su clan, and you all opposed it. An elder said with dissatisfaction, Back then, in order to join hands with Su family, you sacrificed many outstanding warriors to ambush Yang family's warriors. Among them were our family's warriors. You can't deny our sacrifice. The one who sacrificed the most is me. Now that we have finally obtained a Sun Core, I am willing to share the credit with you, but you are not willing to send someone to kill Qin Yun? Xieyang Patriarch is very angry. All right, let's send someone. An elder can only nod in agreement. They're truly worried that Xieyang Patriarch will enjoy the credit alone. The other elders can only agree and go back to arrange for people to come. In just half a day, the elders had each found a very strong first stage Earth Immortal, and all of them were wearing very strong black armor. In order to completely kill Qin Yun, they all let their warriors bring small ghost beasts. At this moment, many people of the Xieyang race are surrounding the Evil Dragon Mountain's crystal wall. They want to see how those 10 powerful warriors will kill Qin Yun. Although Xie Yao Jun is very respectful to Qin Yun on the surface, he hates Qin Yun to death in his heart. He knows that people will be sent in soon. At that time, as long as he captures Qin Yun alive, he will be able to hold his head high. The prisoners on the first floor are also very worried, because they are very afraid that some genius disciples will come in to deal with Qin Yun. Because after those geniuses come in, they can't go out. If there is another genius here, then they won't have a good life and will definitely be used to make fun of. Suddenly, the space fluctuated and someone came in. The person who came in is a middle-aged man wearing black armor, holding a huge black axe in his hand. After the middle-aged man came in, a snake as thick as a water tank slowly swam in. Seeing someone come in, Xie Yaojun's face is immediately filled with joy and shouted, Big brother, I am Xie Yaojun. I know you. I also know that you are Qin Yun's slave. Many people saw you kneeling and kowtowing to Qin Yun. The middle-aged man said with sneer, How? How many people saw it? Xie Yaojun is stunned. He suffered an incomparable blow. Of course, he knows that the Evil Dragon Mountain is surrounded by crystal walls. He can see the situation inside. Many. That Qin Yun came from the Heart Yang realm. He killed the Patriarch's son, Xie Yuanfeng. After being captured by the Patriarch wanted to make him live a life worse than death. That's why he locked him up. I didn't expect you to be such an idiot. He is very disappointed, the middle-aged man said with a face full of ridicule. Then he brought his huge snake and walked towards the cave with the black door. Xie Yaojun tightly clenched his fists. He feels that he can no longer be a human in the future. He hates Qin Yun to death in his heart. At this time, people came in one after another. They're all wearing battle armor, holding weapons, and bringing along ghost beast pets. A total of 10 people came in. Seeing this situation, Xie Yaojun realized that the outside world attaches great importance to this matter. That's why they sent this kind of power to kill Qin Yun. The prisoners on the first floor feel like they are F** king dogs. They thought that at most 1 or 2 geniuses would come in, but now there are 10, and they even brought along ghost beast pets. Chapter 1451. Sacred Beast Horn Patriarch Xieyang saw that there are 10 pretty good first-level Earth Immortals, and they even brought along very strong ghost beasts. He felt a lot more at ease and finally revealed a smile on his face. If Qin Yun doesn't die, then his wisdom will be questioned. He absolutely won't allow anyone to question him. The third elder is not happy because the warriors who entered the first floor of Evil Dragon Mountain all looked down on his grandson. At this moment, the Xieyang people who are watching the crystal wall are all mocking Xie Yaojun in low voices. Although the third elder is very angry that Xie Yaojun kneeled down and begged for mercy, he can understand his grandson. After all, in order to live, kneeling down and begging for mercy is nothing. He feels that if it was anyone else, they would definitely do the same. Xie Yaojun is very angry to see that he is being looked down upon by the other warriors. Not only does he want to kill Qin Yun, he also wants to kill those who mocked him. He knows that his reputation is finished because many people outside saw him kneeling down and begging for mercy to Qin Yun. And he used to be very arrogant outside and offended many enemies. If he goes out in the future and doesn't have absolute power to intimidate others, he will definitely be laughed at. Thinking about how bleak his future is, the hostility in Xie Yaojun's heart became even more intense. It's this door, right? Xie Yaojun, hurry up and open the door. A middle-aged man shouted. This used to be your residence. You should open it yourself so that you don't say that we broke it. Ha ha, it's better not to let him do it because his master lives inside. A bald youth loudly sneered. Xie Yaojun, why don't you come over and beg your master to come out? Don't laugh at him. Look at him. His face is disfigured and he's injured. Let's do it. The warriors who just came and ridiculed Xie Yaojun one after another. It is clear that they're deliberately making fun of Xie Yaojun. Actually, these warriors who entered the Evil Dragon Mountain also have great resentment in their hearts because they didn't want to come in. After coming in, it means that they will temporarily lose their freedom. If they can't quickly break through, who knows how long they will be trapped in the Evil Dragon Mountain. But there is no other way. They have to go in because of the mission arranged by the higher-ups. Therefore, they hate Qin Yun and Evil Yaojun very much. They believe that the main culprit is Qin Yun, and Xie Yaojun also has a lot of responsibility. If not for Xie Yaojun being too incompetent, they would not have formed a team to deal with Qin Yun. Xie Yaojun clenched his fists and gritted his teeth, wishing he could kill all 10 warriors. The third elder, who was standing outside, snorted unhappily. Young people are like this, it's normal. When we were young, didn't we also tease each other like this? Chief Xieyang laughed. He really didn't think it was a big deal. But Xie Yaojun inside wanted to kill. Boom! A middle-aged man with a large axe in his hand chopped down at the black door. When he attacked, a strong black astral wind exploded out, whistling through the first floor. The door was brittle and had been split open by an axe. 2 burly men walked over and blasted open the broken door. When they wanted to go in, they saw a transparent thing blocking the front. It is the transparent Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Qin Yun released the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet to block the entrance. If they want to go in, They must destroy the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Evil Dragon Mountain is very sturdy. The cave here was originally carved out. If they want to dig a new hole, it is impossible, otherwise the prisoners would have already run out. Boom, boom, boom. Two burly men walking in front of the passage immediately used their weapons and ferociously smashed it, causing explosive sounds to resound again and again. Only after a while did they stop. We can't open it. What the hell is this thing blocking there? One burly man said with frown. Quickly continue to fight, someone shouted from outside. You guys come and give it a try. The two burly men in front left the passage. Two people went in with very strong weapons in their hands. After pouring in very strong power, they crazily bombarded the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. They also stopped after a while because after a round of bombardment, they roughly realized that it is very difficult to blast open the thing inside. It must be known that Qin Yun's heaven and earth devil sealing goblet is made from divine iron powder and immortal king beasthorn. It is very sturdy. Only saint tools or king-grade immortal tools can destroy it. Soon after, those 10 warriors took turns and unceasingly bombarded the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet, but they cannot even leave a single mark on it. Looking at the crystal wall from outside, Patriarch Xieyong and others immediately realized that it is a very strong thing. With the equipment those warriors have, they cannot break it. A middle-aged man shouted, Patriarch, we can't break that thing. What should we do? Quickly think of a way. Patriarch Xieyong immediately took out a piece of paper and wrote a note. Then he sent people to throw it into the spatial door. After that middle-aged man picked up the note, he said with frown, Gather our power. Soon after, those 10 warriors began discussing how to join hands, and the elders outside unceasingly wrote notes to guide them. Less than half an hour later, they know how to join hands, that is to release their strongest earth, immortal power, condense it together and attack that hole. But what made them puzzled is that no matter what they do, they can't condense their earth immortal power into a ball. It seems like they can't fuse it. Patriarch Xieyong cursed in low voice. These guys' immortal power is too tyrannical. We can't fuse it. This method won't work. Then what should we do? How can this guy Qin Yun have such a good magic tool? I wonder if it is a saint tool or not. An elder very anxiously said, We must quickly break it. If Qin Yun recovers and uses that powerful magic tool again, our warriors will be in danger. That thing should be a defensive magic tool. We must destroy it. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. Third elder said. Other elders looked at Patriarch Xieyong one after another. Patriarch Xieyong said with frown, Why are you all looking at me? I'm also thinking of a way. I still haven't figured it out. Third elder said, Patriarch, don't you have a very strong sacred beast horn? No, that sacred beast horn is very precious. Patriarch Xieyong quickly shook his head. If I throw it in there, I don't know when they will come out and return it to me. Patriarch, the overall situation is more important. Third elder advised. Didn't you want us to send people and equipment to kill Qin Yun? Now we need your sacred beast horn. Other elders nodded. Patriarch Xieyong's attitude is very firm. He said in deep voice, We must not use my sacred beast horn. It is very precious. Then forget it. Let's go back and rest. An elder sighed and said, For that Qin Yun, we are really worried sick. Let him do whatever he wants. That's right. It was obviously Patriarch's rotten idea to send that guy in. Now look at it. Third elder's grandson is in danger. Another elder shook his head and smiled. He is also about to leave. Other elders naturally want to kill Qin Yun, otherwise their faces will be tarnished. They have no choice but to ask Patriarch Xieyong to take out the sacred beast horn. All right. I will take out the sacred beast horn. Patriarch Xieyong yelled. He knows that if he doesn't give it, then after returning, these old fellows will definitely say that he was very stupid to send Qin Yun in. Patriarch Xieyong is very concerned about his face, so he can't be laughed at. Finally, he took out the sacred beast horn. It is only as thick as a thigh, half a meter long, and completely golden. The horn is very sharp. At the sharpest point, there's a special kind of power. It has very strong piercing ability. Patriarch Xie painfully threw the sacred beast horn into the spatial gate. Moreover, he also left a note for his grandson to use. Among the 10 warriors, there is also Patriarch Xie Yang's grandson. He is a bald youth called Xie Yuanlei. After seeing the note, he became very excited. Great, this is Grandpa's sacred beast horn. Although it is not a weapon, it is our Xie Yang race's most powerful thing. After receiving the sacred beast horn, Xie Yuanlei said with smile, "Grandpa, let me use it alone." He held the end of the sacred beast horn with both hands and excitedly walked towards the cave. Although Qin Yun is quietly healing inside, he is always paying attention to the situation outside. After hearing Xie Yuanlei say something about the sacred beast horn, he is somewhat worried that the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet will be destroyed. He promptly stored the goblet, then took out the floating cloud pagoda and placed it in the passage. The passage is square-shaped. Qin Yun controlled the floating cloud pagoda to slowly grow bigger. Although it can't become the biggest, it is enough to block the passage. The floating cloud pagoda needs to become the biggest so that Qin Yun can hide inside. But now, the floating cloud pagoda can't even open the door of the first floor. If he leaves the cave, he can release the floating cloud pagoda in the first floor of the evil dragon mountain. He didn't take out the floating cloud pagoda before, because he was worried that the evil dragon mountain is strange and will absorb the power inside the floating cloud pagoda. Evil dragon mountain was bestowed by Xie Yang, so Qin Yun is very vigilant. Now he has no other choice but to take out the floating cloud pagoda, otherwise the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet will be destroyed. Why did that guy change his thing? Forget it, my grandfather's sacred beast horn is so powerful, it can definitely pierce through. Xie Yuanlei excitedly rushed over, then held the half-meter-long sacred beast horn and stabbed it. Boom! After the sharp end of the sacred beast horn was injected with a very strong earth immortal power, it stabbed the surface of the floating cloud pagoda, which is full of holes, and made a loud explosion. The floating cloud pagoda is not damaged at all, and the sharp end of the sacred beast horn is also not damaged. Seeing this scene, people inside and outside the evil dragon mountain are all shocked. That is a very strong sacred beast horn, but it can't pierce through the thing Qin Yun released. Xiang Patriarch cursed in low voice. That Qin Yun guy has a very powerful broken stone building in his hand. Even those trash messengers in the Sun Heart could not break through it. Could it be that the thing blocking the passage is that broken stone building? An old man said. Chapter 1452. Powerful suppression. Seeing Patriarch Xie Yang so angry, the other elders are secretly happy in their hearts. Because in the past, Patriarch Xie Yang often used that sacred beast horn to show off. Furthermore, the sacred beast horn is also a very powerful weapon of Patriarch Xie Yang. Now, Patriarch Xie Yang can't use the sacred beast horn for the time being. This means that his strength has weakened a lot, and he can't suppress them like before. Grandfather, what do we do now? Xie Yuanlei shouted from inside. Soon after, he used the sacred beast horn to hit the stone wall of the floating cloud pagoda a few times. He could only hit with rumbling sounds. It was completely useless. After thinking about it, Patriarch Xie Yang and the other elders decided to use a scheme. The main thing is to use hard and soft tactics to trick Qin Yun to come out and kill him. Of course, they all know that Qin Yun is very cunning and not easy to trick, so they let the 10 warriors think of a good way. Xie Yuanlei is holding the sacred beast horn. He is the strongest among them, so he has the final say. Although the others are somewhat unconvinced by Xie Yuanlei, they can only obediently listen to his command. Xie Yaojun, go and trick Qin Yun out. You are his slave, you can definitely gain his trust. Xie Yuanlei said. You go and tell him they won't talk to him. We can give him some benefits. Xie Yaojun cursed in his heart, but on the surface, he is somewhat humble and said, It is useless for me to go over. He definitely knows what you did outside. Actually, Xie Yaojun is very happy to see the 10 warriors suffer defeat. They also know that Qin Yun is not easy to deal with. Xie Jun has an even more evil thought in his heart. He hopes that these 10 warriors will be beaten by Qin Yun until they kneel down and beg for mercy. Only like this, Xie Jun, will not be laughed at. Xie Yuanlei is somewhat angry. I told you to go over, so you go. You lowly thing, why don't you listen to me? That's right. Xie Jun, quickly scram over and call your master out. Others also fanned the flames and mocked. Xie Jun, you must know who the boss of the first floor of Evil Dragon Mountain is. It is no longer you Xie Jun. It is big brother Xie Yuanlei. A middle-aged man said sternly, You Xie Jun, you are just a cowardly dog who kneels down and begs for mercy. Xie Jun angrily shouted, Don't go too far. Xie Yuanlei laughed out loud. Who do you think you are? You're Qin Yun's dog. You kneeled down and recognized him as your master. Suddenly, a middle-aged man picked up Xie Jun and walked towards the cave entrance. Xie Yuanlei tightly hugged the sacred beast horn and shouted, Qin Yun, the puppy you just took is in our hands. If you don't come out, we will kill your dog slave. Qin Yun has been recuperating inside for more than half a day. With the recovery speed of his immortal devil sacred body, his injuries have more or less recovered. It was just that the earthly immortal energy in his body was slightly insufficient, but he felt that it was enough to deal with the 10 soldiers outside. That guy's holy beast horn looks pretty good. From what they said, it seems to be the treasure of Patriarch Xieyong. Ling Yun laughed. Xiao Yun, that holy beast horn is yours. Qin Yun smiled and said, I will go out and take a look. Just as he was about to go out, he heard screams and the sound of punches and kicks. Xie Jun screamed miserably from being beaten up. After the third elder saw this, he said angrily, Look at what their descendants are doing. How can they beat Yao Jun? Patriarch Xieyong said calmly, The overall situation is the most important. Besides, if it wasn't for your grandson being so incompetent, would we have ended up like this? Patriarch, you are the one who threw Qin Yun in. You are the main culprit. The third elder is very angry. What does it have to do with me? It's all because you didn't figure out Qin Yun's cultivation. Patriarch Xieyong is also somewhat angry. Stop arguing. Suddenly, an old man shouted, Qin Yun seems to be coming out. The thing blocking the passage is moving. The people outside can all see the situation of the cave through the crystal wall. As expected, Qin Yun put away the floating cloud pagoda and appeared in front of everyone. He is currently wearing a set of clean blue clothes. Moreover, he cleaned the bloodstains on his face and combed his hair neatly. He looks handsome and extraordinary, exuding a divine and mighty aura. Seeing Qin Yun's attitude, the Xieyong warriors outside the cave are all shocked, especially Xie Jun. The Qin Yun he saw before was not like this. At this moment, Qin Yun is incomparably spirited. His entire body is emitting a fierce and powerful aura. Xie Jun, who beat you up? Qin Yun walked out of the cave and looked at the 10 warriors outside and asked indifferently, It's this guy. Xie Jun pointed at a middle-aged man. Is it him? Qin Yun also pointed at the middle-aged man and asked, It's him. Master, quickly help me take revenge. Xie Jun is now covered in wounds and shouted, And they all humiliated me and even humiliated you, master. Xie Yuanlei angrily rebuked. Xie Jun, are you really addicted to being a dog? Qin Yun pointed at the middle-aged man and said coldly, Were you the one who beat up my servant just now? So what if it was me? When the middle-aged man saw that Qin Yun is very spirited, he was indeed shocked. However, he felt that they have 10 people on their side, and Xie Yuanlei has the sacred beast horn in his hands, so he is not afraid at all. Xie Yuanlei sneered, Liang, go and get rid of this guy. Let him see the power of the Xieyong race warriors. Otherwise, he will think that our Xieyong race warriors are all dogs like Xie Jun. Good. Liang clenched the broadsword in his hand. Qin Yun pointed at Liang and gathered the power of the piercing mountain and splitting earth finger. Crack! A crisp sound rang out. That powerful finger force carried a ferocious momentum as it pierced through Liang's head. Ah! At the same time, Qin Yin somehow arrived in front of Xie Yuanlei in a flash and grabbed the sacred beast horn with one hand. Boom! A vast shockwave surged out from Qin Yun's arm and roared. Qin Yun tightly held the tip of the sacred beast horn and transmitted the vibration power. Although Xie Yuanlei's hands were tightly gripping onto the Saint Beast horn, his hands were in pain from the violent vibrations, and he had no choice but to let go of the Saint Beast horn. All of this happened too quickly, causing everyone to be tongue-tied and unable to cry out in alarm. Especially Patriarch Xieyang, who was outside. His arm trembled as he pointed at Qin Yun on the crystal wall. He was so angry that he stamped his feet. His sacred beast horn was actually snatched away by Qin Yun, just like that. This group of idiots, Xie Yuanlei, this idiot, when Qin Yun came out, why didn't he directly rush over and take the initiative? Patriarch Xieyang was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. As for that of Liang's grandfather, he was also an elder. Liang was instantly killed, causing the elder to curse in anger. When Qin Yun obtained the sacred beast horn, he knew that it was a very good thing. He was extremely happy and stored the sacred beast horn inside the nine-sun divine spirit. Then he turned the floating cloud pagoda into a floating cloud rod and held it in his hand. When Xie Yaojun saw that Liang's head had exploded, he was extremely happy. And at this moment, a snake suddenly rushed over like lightning. Qin Yun immediately waved the floating cloud pagoda in his hand and struck the snake's head. Furthermore, he poured overwhelming righteous power into it. Boom! When the rod landed on the snake's head, a burst of white flame burst out. The sinister snake's head immediately split open and sprayed out a large amount of white flame. Qin Yun hastily summoned the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet and expanded it to cover the 5 warriors and several meter-long ghost beasts. In this way, he can reduce a lot of pressure. Now, he only needs to face 4 warriors. To him, it is a piece of cake. This first layer is very high. It is more than 100 meters tall. When the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet transformed into a barrier, it can cover a large area. The warriors and ghost beasts trapped by the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet are all crazily attacking inside, wanting to come out. And the warriors outside are scared out of their wits. One after another, they let those small ghost beasts pounce over. However, those ghost beasts are very weak in front of the overwhelming righteous power and floating cloud rod. Boom, boom, boom. Qin Yun held the floating cloud rod and smashed it at the ghost beasts that were pouncing on him. With a single strike, a ghost beast would explode and its fragments would splatter everywhere. The prisoners at the side of the wall are trembling in fear. They are worried that Qin Yun will eat people, and when the time comes, he will eat them. There are a lot of ghost beast fragments on the ground. To those prisoners, they are like delicious food. However, they don't even dare to think about it. They are afraid that they will be killed by Qin Yun. What made the prisoners feel relieved is that those ghost beasts are dead for sure. This means that they will not become food for the ghost beasts. The seniors who are watching the battle from the outside now know what Qin Yun's cultivation is. They all dare to conclude that Qin Yun is a first-layer Earth immortal. And the younger generation of the evil Yang race who are watching the battle from the outside all know how terrifying the person chosen by the sun suppressing divine arrow is. Qin Yun entered with heavy injuries. Not only did he defeat Xie Yaojun, he is also able to deal with 10 powerful first-layer Earth immortal warriors with ease. There are 4 warriors who are not covered by the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. When they saw the group of ghost beasts being destroyed by Qin Yun's rod, they roughly know Qin Yun's strength. Let's go, a middle-aged man shouted, waving the huge axe in his hand and rushing over. The other 3 warriors also shouted and rushed over. And from the ground, many tree vines suddenly appeared and tied them up. Qin Yun suddenly flashed over. The floating cloud rod in his hand fiercely smashed down, bringing with it a ferocious might. Rumble. That seemingly broken stone rod seems to have the power to split a mountain. It ruthlessly landed on the body of an armored evil Yang race warrior, causing that warrior's body to explode. The most terrifying thing is that those battle armors were also smashed into pieces. Along with the exploding body parts, they flew everywhere. Finally, another warrior was killed. His death is much more miserable than Liang's. Master, Master, don't kill me. A warrior suddenly shouted. He wanted to kneel, but because his body is tied up by the tree vines, he can't kneel. One servant is enough. You guys are superfluous. Qin spoke and smashed down with his rod. Boom, boom, boom. With 3 consecutive strikes, 3 evil Yang race warriors tied up by the tree vines exploded in an instant. Chapter 1453. Evil Dragon, second floor patriarch Xie Yang, and the elders looked at each other in dismay. All of them are extremely shocked. Now they know that not only did they underestimate Qin Yun's strength, they also underestimated Qin Yun's equipment. Inside the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet, there are 5 people and some ghost beasts. They are all extremely terrified. Qin Yun just killed those armored warriors in a few moves. Dealing with them is as easy as flipping his palm. Moreover, they are now like turtles in a jar. On the ground, there are many weapons scattered. These weapons are very weak in Qin Yun's eyes. He doesn't even care about them. Xie Yaojun, I will leave those few people inside to you. Qin Yun said, This is not good. Xie Yaojun is somewhat scared. Although he wants to kill those few warriors, he knows that many people are watching outside. If he really kills them, Patriarch Xie Yang and those elders will not let him off. What is not good about it? Those fellows came here to kill me. You didn't block them. That means you didn't protect your master. Qin Yun finished speaking and controlled the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet to release many flame and lightning to attack those warriors inside. Patriarch Xie Yang saw that Qin Yun wants Xie Yaojun to kill those warriors. He fiercely looked at Third Elder and said in low voice, Look at your grandson. He is now truly a good dog. Other elders are angrily looking at Third Elder. Isn't it your descendants who are in the wrong first? They deserve to treat me like that. If they had discussed with Yaojun nicely, they wouldn't have ended up like this. Third Elder is also filled with anger. Other Xie Yang race people saw that Qin Yun's strength is so dreadful and became very worried. Someone said, Qin Yun is so strong. If he becomes 9th Earth Immortal and leaves Evil Dragon Mountain, won't we be finished? A middle-aged man said, I wonder if Patriarch can deal with Qin Yun or not. Patriarch's strongest sacred beast horn has fallen into Qin Yun's hands. That rod in Qin Yun's hand is very dreadful. It seems to be a very strong weapon. Patriarch is really something. How could he throw this guy into Evil Dragon Mountain? He should have just killed him. Hearing the discussions of many people, Xie Yang's tribe leader was furious. What made him even more furious was that Xie Yaojun was holding a large sword in Evil Dragon Mountain. Xie Yaojun clenched the big sword in his hand, ready to start a massacre. Xie Yaojun, you dog, are you really going to kill us? Xie Yuanlei shouted. At this time, he was trapped inside the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Just a moment ago, he was hit by the flaming lightning and screaming. The one who screamed the most was him. Xie Yaojun was still a little hesitant at first, but after hearing Xie Yunlei's voice and the curses of the other warriors, he immediately made up his mind to kill. All of you must die. You're not even fit to be dogs, Xie Yaojun furiously said. Qin Yun also took back the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Xie Yuanlei and the rest were already injured, and their bodies were tied up by the tree vines. The furious Xie Yaojun roared as he charged over and killed the Xie Yang race warriors. At the same time, Patriarch Xie Yang and other elders outside crazily attacked the crystal wall and destroyed it, not letting people see the situation inside. Everyone knows that this is the wrong decision of Patriarch Xie Yang and those elders, which caused this kind of situation. Heart Yang realm is now at its weakest. We must work together and attack the Heart Yang realm. Xie Yang race leader yelled. Everyone go back and rest. We will set off tomorrow. At this time, they can only transfer the conflict to the Heart Yang realm and start a war. They can let their clansmen fight and kill each other and forget about the evil Dragon Mountain. Everyone else hastily went back to prepare. Although they are very dissatisfied with today's matter, thinking about attacking the Heart-Yang realm, they are secretly excited. Patriarch, are we just going to let Qinyan go like this? Let him do whatever he wants in the evil Dragon Mountain? An elder said. These elders know that they cannot continue arguing. After all, the matter has already happened, and everyone has their own responsibility. Of course, I can't let Qinyan go. I will ask the higher-ups to support us. If we get the sun's heart, we will have enough confidence to ask the higher-ups for better equipment. Patriarch Xieyong said, Let's go. We will first attack the Heart-Yang realm and boost the clan's morale. In the first floor of the evil Dragon Mountain, those ghost beasts and soldiers were all killed by Xie Yaojun. Now, Xie Yaojun is very respectful towards Qinyan. Because of Qinyan's help, he was able to kill these 10 powerful soldiers who humiliated him. Qinyan returned to the cave dwelling and released the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet to block the passage. He must seize the time to cultivate and quickly break through his cultivation and return to the Heart-Yang realm. If I break through to the second level of Earth Immortal, will I be directly sucked into the second level? Qinyan has been thinking about this question. If that is the case, he will have to put away the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet in advance. Otherwise, this very good magic tool will be left behind. Ling Yin'er is said with smile, Xiao Yun, the real sun's heart is in your hands. You will definitely be able to break through to the 9th level of Earth Immortal very quickly. Then you will be able to leave. I am now in the evil Yang realm. If I become a 9th level Earth Immortal, with my strength, I should be able to turn the evil Yang realm upside down. Qinyan thought about how he was whipped so many times by the patriarch of the evil Yang clan and felt very angry in his heart. Those idiots of the evil Yang clan brought me here. I will make them regret it. He sat on a cushion and closed his eyes. Through the 9-sun divine spirit, he absorbed the energy of the sun's heart stored inside. The special energy of the sun's heart entered his body through his arm and caused his arm to swell up. This kind of cultivation method should be the fastest. Qinyan is secretly happy. What made him feel inconceivable is that when the nether sun absorbed the energy of the sun's heart, its surface became covered with faint golden light. The nether sun seems to like this kind of energy very much. In the past, when the nether sun absorbed other kinds of energy, there was no such change. Yin'er, what's going on with the nether sun? Qinyan asked. This. The nether sun likes the sun's heart very much and wants to devour the entire sun's heart. Ling Yin'er laughed twice. Xiao Yun, don't worry. The nether sun has a sense of propriety. He will absolutely not act recklessly. Qinyan is suddenly somewhat worried about the sun's heart. Fortunately, he can store it in the 9-sun divine spirit. Otherwise, it might really be devoured by the nether sun. After the energy released by the sun's heart was refined by the nether sun, it became even stronger. Qinyan could clearly feel that his Earth immortal strength was rising rapidly. It seems like this method of absorbing the energy of the sun's heart can be even faster. Qinyan said with a smile, I might be even faster than Yuelon. After cultivating for a few days, Qinyan suddenly stopped and hastily stored the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet, because he feels that he is about to break through very soon. In just a few days, he will break through to the second level of the Earth Immortal realm. Qinyan can already feel how powerful the sun's heart is. The sun's heart wants to quickly cultivate powerful warriors so that the warriors can use the sun-suppressing divine arrow to eradicate potential threats. Therefore, the sun's heart is currently using a lot of energy. Xie Yaojun, who is outside, saw Qinyan store the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet and promptly asked, Master, have you not recovered from your injuries? I recovered a long time ago. I am currently cultivating and preparing to break through to the second level of the Earth Immortal realm. Qinyan said, What? So fast? Xie Yaojun is very shocked. You stay outside and watch. Don't let anyone disturb me. Qinyan finished speaking and then returned to the depths of the cave. These past few days, Xie Yaojun has been very nervous. On one hand, he is afraid that Qin Yin will kill him, and on the other hand, he is worried that more warriors will come in. What he doesn't know is that the crystal wall outside has been destroyed, and the people outside don't know what will happen inside. Patriarch Xieyong and the others all believe that Qin Yin will need at least several decades or even hundreds of years to reach the 9th level of the Earth immortal realm. Or he might not even be able to break through to the 9th level of the Earth immortal realm, because during cultivation, he needs a lot of resources, such as divine fruits and so on, to quickly break through. Qin Yin doesn't need divine fruits at all because he has the help of the sun's heart. 2 days later, a very strong spatial fluctuation suddenly appeared in the first level of the Evil Dragon Mountain. The hundreds of prisoners here all ran out to watch. Qin Yin thought that he would be directly sucked into the second level. He did not expect that after breaking through, a whirlpool would appear in the middle of the first level. That whirlpool is the spatial passage to the second level. Master, you really broke through? Xie Yaojun found it hard to believe. The other prisoners are also extremely shocked. Qin Yin just came in not long ago, yet he went to the second level so quickly. Yes, Qin Yin said indifferently. As soon as he arrived at the center, he was sucked into the whirlpool by a power. In the second level, all the prisoners are second-level Earth Immortals. The second level is the same as the first level. There is a very spacious battlefield in the middle. There are many holes in the surrounding stone walls. It is the place where the prisoners live and rest. After Qin Yin came up, he saw 2 people fighting with all their might on the battlefield. They are both prisoners fighting. Someone came in. He doesn't have any equipment on him. Could he be a prisoner? Sensing the spatial fluctuation, the prisoners in the second level all looked towards the wall. That is the place where Qin Yin came out. Qin Yin is wearing blue clothes. Although his body is tall and sturdy, compared to those giant-like prisoners, he seems relatively small. All the prisoners here can see that Qin Yin is not a member of their Xieyong race. A newcomer is here? He doesn't look like a member of the Xieyong race. Could it be that he was captured from the Heart-Yang realm? A tall and sturdy youth wearing fiery red armor walked over with a long saber in his hand and said with sneer, "Rookie from the Heart-Yang realm, why were you captured? Have you ever killed anyone?" This youth is the genius of the second level. "I have killed some people from your Xieyong race." Qin Yin took out the floating cloud rod and said calmly, "Oh, which ones?" The youth teased. His face is full of disbelief. "Xie Tailing, Xie Yuanfeng. I only remember the names of these 2 guys." Qin Yin tightly held the floating cloud rod and said. After the youth heard this, he laughed out loud. The more than 200 prisoners here also roared with laughter. Chapter 1454. Battle at Suyang. Qin Yin did not expect that the people here would know about the matter of the first floor. He thought that the other party would have some misgivings about him, but now it seems that the Evil Dragon Mountain's information is very blocked. Shameless, boastful fellow, from today onwards you are a prisoner of our second floor. You have to be our sparring partner every day. If you don't do well, you will become everyone's food. The young man laughed sinisterly. When the prisoners here look at Qin Yin, it is as if they are looking at delicious food. The prisoners imprisoned in the Evil Dragon Mountain are originally Xieyong race people. Normally, their prestige in the Xieyong race is spread far and wide. Now that they are imprisoned in the Evil Dragon Mountain, if they do not have enough power to intimidate them, they will only be bullied and humiliated by them. The genius in charge of the prisoners in the second floor seems to have a good relationship with the prisoners. And the Xie Yaojun in the first floor is so intimidated that the prisoners don't dare to make a sound. "Sparring partner? What do you want to train?" Qin Yin asked. "Of course it's to fight," the young man said. "I don't have time to waste with you guys. I want to quickly break through and leave the Evil Dragon Mountain." Qin Yin said, "Take advantage of the fact that you haven't clashed with me yet. You better not continue to provoke me. I don't want to waste my energy on you." After he finished speaking, he walked towards an empty wall. When the prisoners heard what he said, they all thought it was very funny. Among them, there were 2 burly and majestic prisoners who walked over to block him. "You are the most arrogant guy I have ever seen. Everyone who comes here must be well behaved, especially in front of me. You must lower your head and bend your waist." The young man tightly gripped the large saber in his hand, walked towards Qin Yun, and shouted angrily, "You from the Heart Yang realm, did you hear what I said?" Qin Yun tightly gripped the floating cloud rod, turned around, and smashed it towards the young man. The prisoners here are immediately stunned. They did not expect that this prisoner from the Heart Yang realm would be so reckless. The young man promptly brandished his saber to block the rod. Boom! Qin Yun's floating cloud rod landed on the large saber and exploded into a burst of sparks, causing the saber to scatter into many pieces. The most terrifying thing was that the fragments that flew out struck the prisoners' bodies, causing them to cry out in pain. Everyone is dumbfounded, especially that young man. The powerful long saber in his hand was actually smashed into many pieces by the rod. The youth also knew that Qin Yun is very strong, but when he saw his saber destroyed, he was unable to restrain his anger. He roared, "Kill him!" There were more than 200 prisoners here. All of them were second-layer Earth immortals. Moreover, they were all very ferocious. At this moment, all of them were flying over. After the young man roared, he quickly retreated. He is not stupid. He knows that Qin Yun is very strong and also has a very powerful rod. This also shocked him. He didn't know why such a person would suddenly come in. Logically speaking, it was impossible for a prisoner to have a weapon. Qin Yun quickly took out the 10 chains. Seeing those chains, the prisoners were all shocked. This was because the Xieyang race's elders often used chain weapons, and they were very familiar with them. Under the control of Qin Yun's mental power, the 10 black chains suddenly flew out like 10 swift and violent black snakes, stabbing in all directions. As for Qin Yun, he used the passing shadow extinction breath steps and disappeared from the second level. The heads of the chains that flew out are very sharp. They can easily pierce through the body. The 10 chains suddenly attacked, and in a blink of an eye, they pierced into the bodies of 10 prisoners and continued to pierce. In just a few blinks of an eye, each chain pierced through the bodies of 10 people, stringing them together. This scene caused the prisoners here to be very frightened, because they realized that the person who suddenly came to the second level is very powerful and also has equipment. The remaining 100 prisoners fled in all directions in fright and entered those cave dwellings. Who exactly are you? That youth is also scared to the point that his face turned pale. You are about to die. What's the point of knowing who I am? Qin Yun's cold voice suddenly came. Then he appeared behind that youth. Boom! Qin Yun's rod smashed down and landed on that youth's body. The heavenly Tao's ferocious aura rushed out, accompanied by a heavenly lion's angry roar. That armored youth didn't even have the chance to make sound. He was directly torn into pieces by the ferocious earth immortal power and scattered on the battlefield. When 100 prisoners who were chained together saw that powerful genius die, they immediately screamed miserably. All these years, they have been enslaved by that youth, and they know how terrifying that youth is. But now, he was killed by Qin Yun with a single strike. Is that the so-called genius of the Xieyang race? Qin Yun's floating cloud rod can condense energy, and when it is shot out, it will explode with even more terrifying power. Furthermore, the overwhelming righteous power he poured in is also what the Xieyang race fears the most. Big, great uncle, don't kill us. A prisoner shouted. You prisoners are imprisoned here. Once you have the chance to leave, you will definitely be a disaster. Qin Yun's voice is ice cold as he took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow. The sun-suppressing divine arrow flickered with a fiery red aura. The aura it released caused the prisoner's legs to go soft. In my hand is the sun-suppressing divine arrow, the divine tool that protects the sun's heart, Qin Yun said coldly. And you are the villains who want to steal the sun's heart. As he spoke, he released the sun-suppressing divine arrow and used his mental power to control it. The sun-suppressing divine arrow flew back and forth, piercing into the prisoners' bodies and exploding with strong flames, destroying their evil bodies. Soon after, The sun-suppressing divine arrow entered one cave after another and pierced back and forth inside. Qin Yin took out a very large pearl. It is used to collect souls. He wants to collect these souls and use them for death sacrifice. These 200 or so second-stage Earth Immortals of the Xieyang race are a very strong force. If they're used for death sacrifice, they can condense a very strong sacrificial power. These Xieyang race people can't even withstand a single blow from the sun's heart and the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yin raised his hand, and the sun-suppressing divine arrow flew back into his hand. Just now, he did not take the initiative to control the sun-suppressing divine arrow, and the sun-suppressing divine arrow automatically killed all the Xieyang race people. Ling Yin said with a smile, "Xiao Yun, the prisoners in the Evil Dragon Mountain should be very good sacrificial offerings. If you can reach the 9th floor, the harvest will definitely be great. And I can't take the Star God's things for free. She needs power now. I have to help her." Qin Yin laughed, then found a place to sit down and began cultivating. The prisoners and the so-called genius of the 2nd floor have all been killed, so Qin Yin is the only one here. In the Heart Yang realm, Yang Tianhin and Xiao Xianqin have been extremely anxious these past few days because they found out that Qin Yin was captured by the Xieyang Patriarch. This was also deliberately leaked to them by the Su family. Su family bastards, as long as Yuelon and the others who possess the sun-suppressing divine arrow come out, the Su family will be annihilated, Yang Tianhin said angrily. These bastards, at this critical moment, they actually sold out the sun's heart. Yang Wuxin sighed. We also didn't expect that the Su family bastards would go so far. They have always been like this. Back then, they were the ones who betrayed us. Otherwise, we would have already exterminated those Xieyang realm bastards. Yang Tianhin is very angry. And at this moment, a series of explosions suddenly came from outside. Yang Kuei ran over and shouted, "Patriarch, it's not good. The Xieyang race is attacking. They're attacking our barrier." After Yang Tianhin heard this, he immediately took out a long sword and said angrily, "These bastards came at the right time. I'll go and kill them right now." Xiao Xianqin said coldly, "I want to capture their patriarch and have them hand over Xiao Yun. The Xieyang race is attacking. The Su family will definitely support them." Yang Wuxin said, "How about this? We go and pressure the Su family now. Su Tiangao is the patriarch. This bastard might have already started moving." Yang Tian'an shouted, "Let's hurry up and go take a look at the gate." Not long after, the Yang family's group arrived at the tribe's gate. After arriving, they saw the Su family's people here. And outside the barrier, there are many powerful ghost beasts constantly attacking the barrier. "Su Tiangao, didn't you make peace with the Xieyang race? You should be on friendly terms right now. Why did they suddenly attack?" Yang Tianhin sneered, his face filled with killing intent. "This is just the movement of the ghost beasts. The ghost beasts are not under their control." Su Tiangao laughed. "Patriarch Yang, don't worry. Our barrier will definitely be able to block those ghost beasts. One of the sun's heart has been taken away. Why aren't you worried at all?" Yang Kuei said coldly. "Anxious? Why should we be anxious? The people inside the sun's heart are not from our Su family, and the sun-suppressing arrow will not be obtained by our heart protector divine race. We have worked so hard to protect this place for so many years. What benefits has the sun's heart given us?" Su Tiangao sneered. "Since there isn't, then why should we be anxious? Bastard!" Yang Tianhin roared angrily and slashed with his sword. Su Tiangao immediately took out a shield to block and said with a smile, "Yang Tianhin, do you really want to start a war with our Su family? Are you not going to wait for the 3 warriors from the sun's heart to come out?" Yang Tianhin also felt that he was too impulsive. He quickly calmed down and said coldly, "Your Su family will definitely be punished." Su Tiangao laughed loudly. "Punishment? If there was really a punishment, we would have been finished long ago." Seeing that Su Tiangao did not hide anything, Yang Tianhin became even more furious. "Yang Tianhin, you don't dare to start a war with us, right? But we dare to start a war with you, huh? Su Tiangao laughed wildly. At this time, the Su family's warriors flew out from all directions and surrounded Yang Tianhen and the others. Yang Tianhen and the others never expected that Su Tiangao would really dare to do this. Patriarch, the barrier has been opened. Yang Kuei shouted angrily. The powerful ghost beasts outside suddenly rushed in. Kill! Yang Tianhen shouted sternly. Chapter 1455. The two realms are connected. Yang Tianhen wanted nothing more than to rush over and kill Su Tiangao. But Su Tiangao was hiding with a horde of ghost beasts. After the horde of ghost beasts rushed in, the people of the Su family hid very quickly. Some rode on the ghost beasts, while others followed the horde of ghost beasts into the Yang family. Su Tiangao, get the hell out here! Yang Tianhen shouted angrily as he crazily killed the ghost beasts. The people of the Yang family were all bloodshot. As they killed, they rushed towards the Yang family's territory. They wanted to go in and protect those weak children. At this time, all the warriors of the Yang family had entered a state of battle. A large group of ghost beasts rushed into the Yang family's territory. That fierce, baleful aura enveloped the entire tribe. Xiao Xinqin held her holy saber and locked onto Su Tiangao. She rushed over and shouted coldly, Su Tiangao, I must catch you, damned woman. Su Tiangao cursed as he was chased by Xiao Xinqin. After Xiao Xinqin chased for a short while, she suddenly felt a strong, evil chi appear. She suddenly looked behind her and saw a man covered in black scales holding a strangely shaped broadsword, fiercely slashing towards her. Scram! Xiao Xinqin turned her hand and slashed at the strange man covered in scales. At this time, the aura of the Xieyang clan leader suddenly appeared and shouted, Su Tiangao, what the hell are you hiding for? Hurry up and kill your way to the Yang family. Su Tiangao had already run far away. When he saw the people covered in black scales, he was extremely shocked and said, when did your Xieyang race have such a terrifying thing? Those are evil dragon warriors. They grew up drinking evil dragon blood. They are very strong and have cultivated the evil dragon body. The dragon scales on their bodies can block sane artifacts. The Xieyang clan leader said, I just begged for them. They were sent by the higher-ups to support us and let us destroy the Yang family in one go. Xiao Xinqin had already clashed intensely with the evil dragon warriors. The two Earth Immortals' power surged and destroyed all the surrounding buildings in an instant. Su Tiangao did not go over. Instead, he shouted, let your ghost beasts go and consume the Yang family's people first. We'll wait here for the opportunity to attack. Su Tiangao was not stupid. When he saw how terrifying the evil Yang warriors were, he was extremely worried and secretly regretted dealing with the Yang family in advance. Before this, the evil Yang race had been saying that they wanted to work together with Su Tiangao to destroy the Yang family. Su Tiangao, on the other hand, was worried that after destroying the Yang family, no other faction would be able to keep the Xieyang race in check, so he did not make a move against the Yang family. Now, Su Tiangao was very worried that after the Yang family was destroyed, the Su family would also be destroyed by the Xieyang race. The Yang family was swarmed by a large group of ghost beasts, and the Xieyang race warriors also crazily killed their way in. However, at this moment, the three suns in the sky suddenly shot down a golden light, covering all the buildings of the Yang family. In an instant, all sorts of ghostly beasts cried out in pain. The Xieyang race warriors also began to howl in pain. The Xieyang race chief and Su Tiangao immediately looked over. They saw that the ghost beasts and Xieyang race warriors that were hit by the golden light were all emitting black smoke. Their flesh seemed to be corroding, rotting away with the black smoke. It was extremely terrifying. Not long after, the weaker ghost beasts turned into a pool of black rotten meat. When Yang Tianhen saw that the heart of the sun was finally exerting its power, he felt much more at ease. Retreat! The Xieyang tribe's chief suddenly shouted. At this moment, The light from the sun's heart covered the entire tribe. Ah! Su Tiangao suddenly cried out in pain. His skin seemed to be burning and was gradually rotting away. Most of the Su family members were the same. They all cried out in pain and charged out with the Xieyang race people. The entire heart protection god race tribe was enveloped by the light released by the sun's heart. That power carried a wave of pure yang energy, and when those evil beings were hit by it, they all felt extreme pain as their bodies were corroded. Su Tiangao was extremely terrified. He had always thought that the sun's heart would not send down any punishment, but now the sun's heart had acted. This meant that the Su family would be chased out of the heart protection god race tribe. What's going on? The Xieyang tribe's chief endured the scorching pure yang energy and shouted, "The sun's heart is angry. It seems that we underestimated the sun's heart's power." Su Tiangao cursed. That bastard Yang Tianhen will definitely be very happy. Yang Tianhen was indeed very happy at this moment. He even led his people to chase and kill many fleeing Xieyang race and Su family members. "Miss Xianxin, don't go out." An old granny suddenly shouted. "There are Xieyang race people and Su family people outside. They must be angry out of humiliation right now. If we go out, we will definitely be attacked by them." Granny Yang Xian, was it the power of the sun's heart just now? Xiao Xianxin looked at the three suns' heart in the sky and said doubtfully, "The sun's heart is so powerful. Why was one stolen before?" She somewhat blamed the sun's heart. Why didn't it help earlier? Otherwise, Qinyan wouldn't have been sent to the evil Yang realm. Granny Yang Xian shook her head and said, "I don't know the reason either. In short, the sun's heart is very weak right now." Previously, it was this Granny Yang Xian who helped Xiao Xianxin cultivate her soul to saint level. Suddenly, the three suns' heart in the sky shot down a white light and hit Yang Tianhen's body. Yang Tianhen closed his eyes. His expression is somewhat excited. Granny Yang Xian said, "Great, Tianhen has finally obtained the position of patriarch." At this moment, the tribe's barrier also recovered. Outside the barrier, a large group of ghost beasts are constantly attacking, trying to break through the barrier. Su Tiangao and the rest of the Su clan saw that the sun's heart had passed the position of patriarch to Yang Tianhen and immediately became extremely jealous. "Yang Tianhen, don't be complacent." Su Tiangao clenched his fists and cursed in a low voice. At this moment, he deeply regretted joining hands with the evil Yang race. Otherwise, their Su clan would not have been chased out. Patriarch Xie Yang asked, "Su Tiangao, didn't you say that the sun's heart is very weak? Why did it suddenly become so powerful? We were almost completely annihilated." Su Tiangao shouted, "How would I know? It's all your fault for bringing so many ghost beasts in. Otherwise, the tribe wouldn't be in such a foul atmosphere. It must be because the sun's heart sensed that there were too many ghost beasts invading, so it released its power to purify them. When we took away one of the sun's heart, why didn't the other three suns' heart attack?" Patriarch Xieyang said doubtfully, "Could it be on purpose? Is it to make us attack and annihilate us in one fell swoop?" Su Tiangao's expression changed and said, "It's extremely possible. It's a good thing that the three suns' heart are too weak, otherwise we would have all died just now." Most of the ghost beasts that the Xieyang race brought had indeed died inside just now. This was all because the ghost beasts ran slowly. Furthermore, thousands of people from the Su clan and the Xieyang race were also killed. They were all chased to death by the Yang clan when they were escaping. Now outside the barrier, they could see many corpses emitting smoke and being purified on the main road of the tribe. Su Tiangao stomped his feet in annoyance and snorted. "Oh right, didn't you guys capture Qinyan? How about that guy?" Su Tiangao asked. He was tortured by us. Because he is still useful, we did not kill him," Patriarch Xieyang said, and the other elders behind him all had ugly expressions. Su Tiangao said, "That guy is indeed very useful. Quickly bring him here. Let's see if we can use him to threaten the Yang clan and make them submit." Patriarch Xieyang shook his head. "That's impossible. The Yang clan will definitely guard the tribe to the death. They will definitely not let us in again. Patriarch Xie Yang, let me tell you, if the three warriors in the Sun Heart come out, we will all be finished. Su Tian Gao anxiously shouted. Quickly bring Qin Yun here. Use him to threaten the Yang clan. It's useless. Patriarch Xie Yang said, Our Patriarch Xie Yang's evil dragon warriors are very strong. As long as they are here, we don't need to be afraid of those three sun warriors. Su Tian Gao said with sneer. What happened to Qin Yun? Did you guys kill him? Of course not. He is locked up in the evil dragon mountain by us. Patriarch Xie Yang said with bitter smile, You should know about the evil dragon mountain, right? Even if we want to get him out, it will not be that easy. Damn it, Su Tian Gao cursed. And at this time, Su Hong suddenly shouted towards the tribe's gate. Yang Tianhen, Qin Yun is locked up in the evil dragon mountain. Don't you want to save him? Idiot. Su Tian Gao immediately slapped Su Hong's head. Patriarch, I just wanted to provoke them and make them run out. Su Hong said with some grievance. Isn't that wrong? If they know that Qin Yun is in the evil dragon mountain, then we can't lie to them. Xie Yang race leader cursed. Su Tian Gao vigorously kicked Su Hong's, but instead angrily, You are truly a stupid donkey. Originally, Su Tian Gao wanted to lie to Yang Tianhen and the others, but now it won't work. Inside the tribe, Yang Tianhen found out that Qin Yun is in the evil dragon mountain and is very worried. Yang Kuei said, Patriarch, it might not be a bad thing for Brother Qin to be in the evil dragon mountain. Xiao Xin Qin hastily asked, What is the evil dragon mountain? Is it difficult to go in? Xin Qin, the evil dragon mountain is the strongest place of the Xie Yang race. Actually, it is also the evil Yang altar. It is the place where the Xie Yang power transfers resources to the lower realms. And that evil dragon mountain is also a training ground. There are many prisoners imprisoned inside. Soon after, Granny Yang Xin told Xiao Xianqin about the situation of the evil dragon mountain. After Xiao Xianqin finished listening, she felt a lot more relieved and said, Xiao Yun has many powerful equipment on him. He should be able to protect himself inside the evil dragon mountain. As long as Brother Qin is not controlled by them, it's fine. Yang Kuei nodded and said. Suddenly, a lot of black gas appeared all around the tribe's barrier. It is as if the space is being torn apart. The entire tribe is trembling nonstop. Yang Tianhen and the others are inside the tribe. They're looking outside the barrier in shock. Oh no, we're going to open up the evil Yang realm. Yang Tianhen shouted. Chapter 1456. 1456, finally out of the mountain. When the evil Yang world was built, it was built according to the Heart Yang world. The strongest is also 9th level Earth Immortal. This is also to make it easier to open space in the future. And now that the space has been opened, it means that the evil Yang power has taken action. Moreover, it is very important. The people inside the heart-protecting divine race tribe also gradually saw the huge black ball above the evil Yang world. It is the sun core that was taken away. That is the evil dragon mountain. Granny Yang Xin suddenly pointed at a huge black mountain and shouted. Now, the evil dragon mountain is trembling unceasingly. Suddenly, a black whirlpool appeared on the mountain peak. Roar! A dragon roar shook the air. A very ugly lizard dragon with a pair of huge bat wings suddenly flew out from the whirlpool. This black lizard dragon is very big. After it appeared above the evil dragon mountain, it immediately rushed towards the black ball and wrapped around it. This is our evil Yang Saint Dragon. Patriarch Xie Yang and a large group of elders immediately rushed over and respectfully greeted the Saint Dragon. After the powerful evil Yang Saint Dragon appeared, it hugged the huge black ball and roared again and again. After Patriarch Xie Yang arrived, he asked in fear, Lord Saint Dragon, why are you so angry? There is no real sun core inside. Evil Yang Saint Dragon's voice is deep and hoarse. What? There is no sun core? Patriarch Xie Yang is very shocked. It's the same for the other elders because it was clearly obtained from the sky above the heart-protecting divine race's tribe. Furthermore, they even captured Qin Yun from inside. After Evil Yang Saint Dragon roared a few times, it flew towards the heart-protecting divine race tribe and rushed towards one of the sun cores. Yang Tianhen saw Evil Yang Saint Dragon coming over and very worriedly said, "Just how strong is this thing?" Yang Wuxin said, "Evil Yang World and Heart Yang World have fused. These two spaces can only accommodate 9th-level Earth Immortals. No matter how strong Evil Yang Saint Dragon is, it can't surpass 9th-level Earth Immortals." After the Evil Sun Saint Dragon came over, it unfurled its incomparably huge black wings and wrapped around the sun's core. Its huge dragon body hugged the sun's core. This caused the energy released by the sun core to be cut off. There were only 2 cores of the sun maintaining the barrier that protected the god tribe. "Damn it!" Yang Tianhen cursed loudly. "That bastard, does he want to devour the sun's core?" Xieyang race leader laughed. "Great! That sun core will definitely be obtained by the Xieyang Saint Dragon." On the evil dragon mountain in the distance, a black mist suddenly appeared. After the black mist appeared, it suddenly rushed to the sky above the Heart Protector Divine Tribe and enveloped a sun core. "Ha ha! There's only one sun core left. Everyone, prepare to deal with the Yang family." The head of the Xieyang race laughed. Now, only the core of the sun was releasing its power to maintain the enchantment protecting the god tribe. The barrier protecting the divine race's heart had become extremely weak. Just now, Su Tiangao and the Xieyang family head were frustrated that they couldn't attack the Yang family. However, the evil Sun Saint Dragon that had suddenly appeared seemed to have sealed the power of the sun's core. The head of the Xieyang race laughed. The evil Sun Saint Dragon is currently attacking the sun's core and will soon be able to obtain the sun's core. The other power was released by the evil sun. All the sun's cores here will soon be ours. Su Tiangao is very unhappy because their Su family originally thought that they could obtain 2 sun's cores, but now it seems that they can't even obtain one. "Don't be afraid of them. Let's go," Yang Tianhen shouted. "We, the Heart Protector Divine Race, should be protecting the sun's core, not the sun's core protecting us." Yang Tianhen is also blaming himself. If they had discovered the Su family's change of heart earlier, they wouldn't have colluded with the Xieyang race. And now, 3 of the sun's cores have already been infiltrated by the evil sun's power. Qin Yun, who is inside the evil dragon mountain, doesn't know the situation outside. There's a person inside the sun's core who possesses the sun-suppressing divine arrow. If there is a problem with the sun's core, then the people inside will definitely be affected. The people of the Yang family were also ready to fight. Xiao Xianqin held her sacred saber and looked at the Xieyang family head outside the barrier. That is her target. Hoo. In the sky above the evil dragon mountain, another ball of black gas appeared. Another wave of very strong evil sun power floated over like rolling black clouds and wrapped around the sun's core in an instant. The last sun's core was also guarded and was invaded by the evil sun power. The barrier protecting the Heart Protector Divine Race tribe disappeared in an instant. "Kill!" Xieyang Patriarch and Su Tiangao suddenly shouted. The Yang family was already prepared and rushed out one after another. In the blink of an eye, an intense battle broke out inside the Heart Protector Divine Race tribe. The entire Heart Protector Divine Race was destroyed in an instant. Qin Yun is inside the evil dragon mountain and doesn't know what happened to the Heart Protector Divine Race. He is now at the 3rd level of the Earth Immortal stage, and he has arrived at the 3rd level of the evil dragon mountain. There are nearly 200 prisoners on the 3rd level. As soon as Qin Yun came up, he washed this place with blood. The prisoners on the 3rd level are very savage. It seems like they're all very hungry. Just as Qin Yun came up, he was pounced on and bitten by the prisoners. Fortunately, Qin Yun has a powerful strength and was able to kill all of those savage, man-eating evil devils in an instant. After the prisoners died, Qin Yun collected their souls and prepared them for the death sacrifice in the future. Because the sun's core is inside Qin Yun's nine-sun divine spirit, he broke through very quickly. I wonder how Yuelon is doing. Is she as fast as me? Qin Yun suddenly missed Xiao Yuelon very much. This made him want to go out even more quickly. Xiao Yun, Yuelon should also be very fast. Ling Yun said with smile. Yuelon definitely has her own little secret. Her fortuitous encounter is definitely not simple. Qin Yun said with smile. In the blink of an eye, 1 month passed. The 3 suns cores above the Heart Protector Divine Race Tribe are all tightly wrapped by black, evil energy. No light can be seen, and no one knows what is happening inside. As for the Yang family, Su family, and Xie Yang race, they all suffered heavy casualties. The one who suffered the most is the Xie Yang race because they have a lot of people and the Yang family's power is restraining them. Although the Su family participated in the war, because their power was bestowed by the sun's core, after they betrayed the sun's core, their power also became very weak. Facing the Yang family's desperate attack, they simply did not dare to face them head-on. At this moment, the Heart Protector Divine Race Tribe is filled with dense killing intent. The Xie Yang race and Su family's people all retreated one after another. They and the Yang family fought until both sides suffered heavy losses. Both sides no longer have the strength to fight. Although the Xie Yang race suffered many casualties, they're not afraid because they still have reinforcements. Those evil dragon warriors were heavily injured and quickly sent back to the top of the evil dragon mountain. They'll be able to recover very quickly. Boom boom. One of the sun's cores in the sky suddenly let out muffled sounds. Everyone raised their heads and looked over. Su Tiangao, who is at the Xie Yang race tribe's side, heard the sound and said with frown, "Are the warriors inside coming out? Those guys have sun-suppressing divine arrows." The Xie Yang patriarch said with smile, "They can't come out, they are sealed inside." Su Tiangao said, "We can't go on like this. We have to quickly exterminate the Yang family. When our 10 evil dragon warriors recover, we will attack the Yang family. I will definitely win." The Xie Yang patriarch said, "Su Tiangao, don't worry, our Xie Yang race will not mistreat you." The Xie Yang race still needed the Su family's help because they still have great value. Yang Tianin looked at the ruins of the Heart Protector Divine Race Tribe. His white hair was in a mess, making him look a lot older. He looked at the 3 suns cores in the sky and sighed with grief and anger. "I really deserve to die." The Heart Protector Divine Race. We are nothing. We can't even protect the sun's core. Xiao Xinqin's body was also dyed with a lot of blood. In the battle just now, she had killed many Su family and Xie Yang race people. With the holy blade and 7-string jade zither, her fighting strength was very strong. "The warriors inside can't come out," Yang Wuxin said. "Looks like I can only sacrifice myself to help the warriors of the sun's core escape." As he spoke, he took out a token and flew up, charging toward the sun's core that let out a muffled sound. That was the sun's core, where Qinlong was. After Yang Wuxin went over, his body suddenly self-destructed, creating a flash in the air. The sun's core was wrapped in a dense evil Yang energy, and after Yang Wuxin self-destructed, a large amount of evil Yang energy was blasted away. Boom! A loud sound rang out, and the surface of the sun's core cracked. Just as a person was about to come out, the surrounding space suddenly overflowed with evil Yang energy, once again enveloping the sun's core. Below, the Yang family let out a long sigh of regret. In the distance, the Xie Yang race and the Su family all cheered. Grandma Yang Xian's expression was solemn as she looked at the gigantic black mountain on the Xie Yang race's side and said, "That evil dragon mountain can provide endless reinforcements. We don't have any reinforcements at all. If this goes on, we won't be able to outlast them." The Yang family also had reinforcements, but they were all inside the sun's core. It's a pity about the warriors inside the sun's core. I wonder how they are doing. Yang Tianhin sighed. He was also helpless. Boom! There was suddenly a huge commotion in the distant evil dragon mountain. Everyone looked over. The chief of the Xieyang race laughed. This is great. The higher-ups have sent powerful warriors over again. The people of the Xieyang race all cheered, but suddenly they saw something rushing down from the evil dragon mountain. There was a man dressed in blue, holding 10 iron chains in his hands. And those 10 iron chains had pierced into the heads of 10 evil dragon warriors. It's Qin Yun. Qin Yun dragged the 10 evil dragon warriors and rushed down from the evil dragon mountain. The Xieyang patriarch immediately saw that it was Qin Yun, and Qin Yun was holding a sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand. The injured evil dragon warriors were originally healing at the top of the mountain, but they suddenly met Qin Yun, who had come out of the evil dragon mountain with blood. The 10 evil dragon warriors, who were already heavily injured, had their heads pierced by the iron chains released by Qin Yun in the blink of an eye. Qin Yun finally came out. He stayed in the evil dragon mountain for more than a month and broke through to the 9th level of the Earth Immortal stage. Every time he went up, he would massacre a floor. Chapter 1457. Dragon generals seeing the Xieyang patriarch charge over. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hand started to tremble. 10,000 devour, he shouted and threw the sun-suppressing divine arrow at the Xieyang race master. When the sun-suppressing arrow flew out, it suddenly produced a very strong, devouring power, sucking all the energy on the ground and around it into the sun-suppressing arrow. As it flew over, the sun-suppressing divine arrow became even more terrifying. Some of the weaker Xieyang race members had their energy sucked away by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Seeing how terrifying the sun-suppressing divine arrow was, the Xieyang tribe head was filled with fear and turned to run. Xiao! The sun-suppressing divine arrow flew over, devouring the energy of some of the weaker Xieyang race members. Some of them were even sucked dry, and in the blink of an eye, a large group of people fell. After devouring a large amount of energy, the sun-suppressing divine arrow gave off a powerful aura as it shot towards the Xieyang tribe's leader. Damn it! Stop that sun-suppressing divine arrow! Xieyang patriarch shouted. At this moment, they also understood why Xieyang Saint Dragon said that the true sun core could not be found. It was because the true sun core was in Qin Yun's hands. Qin Yun had cultivated to the 9th tier of the Earth Immortal realm through the sun core, so he could now activate the sun-suppressing divine arrow's special ability, 10,000 Devour. When the sun-suppressing divine arrow is released, it can devour the power of all living things. Qin Yun used his mental power to control the sun-suppressing divine arrow, which consumed a lot of energy. Because the energy inside the sun-suppressing divine arrow was very strong, if his mental strength was not strong enough, he would not have been able to control the sun-suppressing divine arrow to fly so far. Xieyang clan leader ran very quickly, and a few elders suddenly rushed over, throwing out all sorts of weapons. I'll kill you first. Qin Yun controlled the sun-suppressing divine arrow and stabbed at an elder. Rumble. After the sun-suppressing divine arrow fell, the powerful energy it had just devoured exploded out. A large area of black-purple lightning, like an electric net, covered the surrounding several thousand meters. The large group of people charging at Qin Yun were immediately penetrated by the black-purple lightning. What was terrifying was that the blackish-purple lightning seemed to have the power to devour. After entering a person's body, it would quickly devour energy and strengthen the entire electric net. The massive black-purple lightning covered hundreds of people, and they were all from the Xieyang race. They were being electrocuted and devoured at the same time. Not long after, more than 100 people were electrocuted by the black-purple electric net. Not only was the energy in his body completely devoured, his body was also emitting smoke from the electric shock. This is the first time Qin Yun used the special ability of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He was also shocked. The hearts of the Su family and Xieyang race members who were hiding in the distance jumped. Why did Qin Yun suddenly come out? He's only been locked up for slightly more than a month, right? Su Tiangao rushed to Xieyang Patriarch and shouted angrily, "What is inside your evil dragon mountain? How did Qin Yun become so powerful?" How would I know? Xieyang Patriarch shivered. He was already scared by Qin Yun. Everyone could tell that Qin Yun's current cultivation level was at the 9th layer of Earth Immortal. Furthermore, he had become stronger through the Sun Core. The Xieyang race and the Su family were well aware of the strength of a 9th-stage Earth Immortal who possessed the sun-suppressing divine arrow. They also saw the power Qin Yun displayed just now. Originally, the Xieyang race thought that they would be able to turn the tables after the 10 evil dragon warriors recovered from their injuries. But now, those 10 evil dragon warriors were killed by Qin Yun. Qin Yun waved his hand and took back the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Then, he used the passing shadow extinction breath step and suddenly disappeared. Seeing Qin Yun disappear, the Xieyang race leader shouted, "Quickly defend! Qin Yun is going to attack." There are still a few thousand Xieyang race and Su family people, but there are not many 9th-stage Earth Immortals, and many of them are injured. The disappeared Qin Yun suddenly appeared in front of Su Hong. "Die!" Qin Yun stabbed forward with the arrow in his hand and pierced through Su Hong's body like lightning. The sun-suppressing divine arrow quickly devoured the energy in Su Hong's body and then condensed that energy into the arrow before fiercely exploding. Boom! The sun-suppressing divine arrow shook and exploded the energy it devoured, tearing Su Hong's body and his powerful armor apart. General Su Hong was a very strong 9th-stage Earth Immortal, and he had good equipment on him. But now he was killed by Qin Yun in one move. Su Tiangao is extremely shocked because he is very clear that he will not be able to last more than 10 moves in front of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xieyang Saint Dragon, quickly save us. The Sun Warrior has come into being. Quickly kill him. Xieyang race leader suddenly shouted. That Xieyang Saint Dragon's huge body is wrapped around a sun core. After he heard Xieyang race leader's cry for help, he also noticed Qin Yun. He looked at Qin Yun's location and roared. The dragon roar sound wave brought along a ball of black energy wave and instantly attacked Qin Yun. Qin Yun ferociously poured his nether sun earth immortal power and stabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow forward, piercing the ball of black energy wave. Ho! The ball of energy wave immediately stopped and then frantically drilled into the sun-suppressing divine arrow and was devoured by it. The sun-suppressing divine arrow's devouring speed is also very fast, so it can stabilize the ball of energy wave. And the devouring speed is also dependent on Qin Yun's power. Qin Yun gritted his teeth and tightly held the exploding sun-suppressing divine arrow. After the sun-suppressing divine arrow devoured a very strong energy, it became very violent. Go! Qin Yun looked at the group of Xieyang race people far away and then shot the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Voila! After the sun-suppressing divine arrow flew over, a black-purple lightning net with devouring power and destructive power appeared and enveloped hundreds of Su family people. Those Su family people are all Earth Immortals. After being enveloped by the black-purple lightning net, their bodies quickly shriveled up and then emitted smoke and finally turned into ashes. Another few hundred Su family people have been killed. This caused Su Tiangao's eyes to turn red with anger. Arrogant humans! Xieyang Saint Dragon furiously roared. A whirlpool suddenly appeared on the evil Dragon Mountain peak. Xieyang race leader excitedly shouted, "Very good, reinforcements have arrived." The reinforcements have indeed arrived, and their speed is very fast. Ling Yun said, "Xiao Yun, that evil Dragon Mountain should be the biggest threat. Only by destroying the evil Dragon Mountain can we completely exterminate the Xieyang race. Indeed, that should be something similar to an altar. If we destroy it, they won't be able to continue sending things over." Qin Yun saw 10 black shadows rushing over, and his expression gradually became grave. Those 10 black shadows' speed is very fast. They flashed over as fast as lightning. Only Qin Yun can see what they are. They are dragon men that look like lizard dragons. Their bodies are covered in black scales, and they even have a lizard tail. Compared to the evil dragon warriors from before, these lizard dragon people's scales are a lot thicker. Moreover, they are holding lizard dragon head sabers in their hands. At this moment, Xieyang race leader also clearly saw what they are and shouted with incomparable excitement. It's evil dragon warriors. Qin Yun is dead for sure. We won. Haha. 10 evil dragon warriors. Don't be happy too early. Qin Yun heard Xieyang race leader shout and sneered. Qin Yun doesn't dare to underestimate the enemy now, because these evil dragon warriors are indeed very strong. Every scale on their body is carved with very complicated runes. He used Extinction Spirit Eye to take a look and can see the energy flow inside the evil dragon warrior's body. Their veins and blood veins have all formed similar runes. These evil dragon warriors are made with very high-level technique. They require the cooperation of inscription masters and soul refiners. It can be said that they are flesh and blood puppets with very strong defense. Moreover, they have their own souls and can fight independently. Qin Yun suspects that these evil dragon warriors are made by divine desolate or sacred desolate inscription masters. Xiao Xianqin said, I will go help. She has a sacred saber in her hand, and 7-string jade zither is also very strong. Even Xieyang race leader and Su Tiangao don't dare to face her directly. We will also go, Yang Tianhen said. Then led a group of Yang family 9th stage Earth Immortals and rushed over. Don't even think about going over. Xieyang race leader shouted, and then rushed over with Su Tiangao to intercept the Yang family people. 10 evil dragon warriors rushed over and surrounded Qin Yun in a short while. 3 of them attacked from 3 different directions. Qin Yun promptly controlled the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet to descend, enveloped one evil dragon warrior, then released tree vines to bind another one. Finally, he crazily thrusted out sun-suppressing divine arrow. In a flash, he thrust it out hundreds of times, causing explosion sounds. What caused him to be amazed is that the scales on the evil dragon warrior's body can actually defend against the piercing of sun-suppressing divine arrow. Especially the black energy shield, it is very strong. Not only it can resist the piercing of the sun-suppressing divine arrow, it can also prevent it from being devoured. Boom! The heaven and earth devil sealing goblet was sent flying by the formidable evil dragon warrior inside, and the other evil dragon warrior broke the tree vines. Then 2 more evil dragon warriors joined the battle. Qin Yun unleashed light, transformation, sacred pupil, and escaped from the encirclement. After the battle, just now, he realized that evil dragon warriors are not easy to deal with. If it was 2 or 3, he would have no problem. But now it is very difficult to deal with 10. Suddenly, the 3 sun cores in the sky let out a burst of muffled sound. After Qin Yun looked over, he is extremely shocked. Those 3 sun cores have suddenly shrunk by 1 size. The true sun core is inside. The outer shell is only for defense. Now that it has shrunk by 1 size, it means that it has been corroded by evil sun power. Xiao Yun, save the companions inside the sun core. You can't deal with those 10 evil dragon warriors alone. There's also evil sun saint dragon. Evil Dragon Mountain will continue to send reinforcements. If this goes on, you will be exhausted to death. 10 evil dragon warriors are cooperating very well. It is as if they are one. Their attacks are swift and fierce. Their attacks are like thunder. Qin Yun unleashed Passing Shadow, Extinction Breath Step, and Light Transformation, Sacred Pupil to quickly escape from the encirclement and rushed towards the ruins of the Heart Protection Divine Race tribe. He wants to quickly rescue the people inside the Sun Core. If Qin Long, Xie Qiru, and Xiao Yuelon are all 9th layer Earth Immortals, then their strength must be very formidable. With sun-suppressing divine arrow, they can deal with those 10 evil dragon warriors and then destroy the evil dragon mountain. Don't let him go. Patriarch Xieyang knows what Qin Yun wants to do and anxiously shouted. Chapter 1458. Furious Evil Dragon While Running. Qin Yun tightly held the sun-suppressing divine arrow and dodged the evil Sun Saint Dragon's attack. He can feel the furious sun-suppressing divine arrow constantly overflowing with surging energy. Xiao Xianqin also rushed out to fight Xie Patriarch and the evil dragon generals. Yang Tianhen went to deal with Su Tiangao. And Xiao, you must be careful of those evil dragon generals. Don't fight them head-on. Just deal with them. Qin Yin warned. All right, I understand. All right, I understand. Xiao Xianqin replied. Qin Yin released the floating cloud pagoda and shouted, If you can't resist, quickly enter the pagoda. As long as he is here, he can control the floating cloud pagoda to let people in. Only like this can he deal with the 3 sun cores with ease. The evil Sun Saint Dragon wrapped in the sun core is constantly spitting out very strong evil sun power towards Qin Yun, but Qin Yun can easily dodge it. Stop him. Evil Sun Saint Dragon seems to feel the threat from Qin Yun and let out a deep roar. Those evil dragon generals immediately rushed towards Qin Yun, but were blocked by the Yang family warriors with all their might. The Yang family people are very clear that only by letting the warriors inside the sun core come out can they reverse this situation. The evil sun race has an evil dragon mountain, is an altar to communicate with other evil Yang realms. The evil sun race here has the upper hand and will soon be able to take down the sun core. Therefore, the other evil Yang realms will definitely do their best to help and continuously support them. The 10 evil dragon generals that just arrived are very terrifying. Although Qin Yin will not be killed by them alone, he will not be able to kill all of them in one go. And now, the sun core is about to be devoured. Qin Yin must quickly disperse the evil sun power, sealing the sun core. Xie Patriarch shouted, Qin Yin can't fly up, don't worry about him. Let's quickly kill the Yang family people and completely occupy this place. After Qin Yun rushed over, he threw the sun-suppressing divine arrow at the evil Sun Saint Dragon in the sky. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand has already devoured a lot of evil sun power shot down by the evil Sun Saint Dragon. Now, the power contained in the sun-suppressing divine arrow is even stronger. After being thrown by Qin Yun, it shot towards the sun core in the blink of an eye. Damned lizard reptile! Stay away from the heart of the sun, Qin Yun roared. He was extremely fast, and his movement technique was brilliant. He was able to block the pursuit of several evil dragon generals. The sun-suppressing divine arrow was as fast as lightning, and it let out a sharp screech as it rushed toward the evil Sun Saint Dragon that was wrapped around the sun core. Boom! The sun-suppressing divine arrow pierced out heavily, bringing with it a huge electric net that enveloped the Xie Saint Dragon. Roar, roar, roar. Bastard, I will make you wish you were dead. Xie Saint Dragon roared angrily. The powerful lightning net covered the huge black malevolent body and continuously devoured the energy on Xie Saint Dragon's body, strengthening the lightning net. The purplish-black lightning became stronger and thicker. It exploded out with waves of explosive sounds, causing people's hearts to tremble. The sun-suppressing divine arrow stabbed into Xie Saint Dragon's body and released the 10,000 Devour ability, devouring Xie Saint Dragon's power and continuously releasing a powerful purple-black lightning net that zapped Xie Saint Dragon's body. Those evil dragon generals saw Xie Saint Dragon being heavily injured and became extremely angry. They attacked even more crazily and desperately. While madly attacking Qin Yun, they also let out all kind of heart-shaking roars. Qin Yun immediately took out the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. After the 9-Sun Divine Hammer absorbed the 10 fragments, it suddenly woke up. Qin Yun's right arm that is holding the 9-Sun Divine Hammer suddenly swelled up. His arm's muscles and skin turned light golden. A black nether sun totem appeared on the surface. Waves of ferocious aura surged from his arms, like the roar of a heavenly lion. After all, he was at the 9th level of the mysterious immortal stage and the 9th level of the earth immortal stage, and he was cultivating the ferocious aura of the heavenly Tao of the heavenly lion. There were many nether sun totem carvings on the heavenly lion's body. Now that they appeared on the heavenly lion's arm, it could directly connect with the nether sun in its body and quickly use the power of the nether sun. Qin Yun swung the divine hammer in his hand. After dodging an evil dragon general's attack, he swung the hammer. That ferocious aura, along with the nether sun's supergravity, landed on the evil dragon general's head. Rumble. The deafening explosion caused the earth to tremble. The ferocious aura is like a gale and huge wave. It swept through all directions and blew away all the evil dragon generals who were about to attack. And the scales on the evil dragon general's body were torn apart by the impact, and a part of its head caved in. Qin Yun is extremely apprehensive. Such a dreadful hammer attack was actually unable to kill the evil dragon general. Xiao Yun, don't pay attention to these things. Quickly save the sun heart. Otherwise your father and others will be in danger. Ling Yuna yelled. Qin Yun held the hammer and rotated on the spot, releasing waves of ferocious energy storm that blew away all the evil dragon generals around him. Then he urged the nether sun to devour the inscription beast's ability. Earlier, he and Yang Yang joined hands to kill the blue snake, and then absorb the snake's bones into the nether sun. These days, nether sun has been refining and devouring the blue snake's rune ability. This kind of ability is the floating inscription power. It can move through space. This is not flying. Rather, it is using space power to move. Therefore, after he used it, his body moved up like a snake and quickly leaped towards the evil Sun Saint Dragon. The evil Sun Saint Dragon is now nailed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. The energy inside its body has been absorbed and devoured. Moreover, it is also being ravaged by the lightning net released by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. It is an incomparable pain and let out a burst of angry roar. Qin Yun urged the floating inscription's ability and quickly arrived above the evil Sun Saint Dragon. He looked at the malevolent mountain-like dragon head. Big lizard reptile, watch my hammer. Qin Yun held the divine hammer with both hands. His arms are filled with nether sun totem. He quickly extracted the earth immortal power inside the nether sun and poured it into the divine hammer. With a crash, the 9-sun divine hammer suddenly became very big. Originally, it was golden, but now it has turned black, and nether sun totem appeared on its surface. The nether sun totem and the sun totem inside the divine hammer interweaved together. The power released by the hammer became incomparably ferocious and dreadful. Now the entire earth, the entire space is shaking violently. Everyone can feel that the 9-sun divine hammer in Qin Yun's hand is releasing a dreadful power. Patriarch Xie Yang and Su Tiangao are extremely frightened by Qin Yun's divine hammer. It's the 9-sun divine hammer. Sun spirit plus sun core. Motherfucker, this bastard Qin Yun is invincible. Patriarch Xie Yang and an evil dragon general are attacking Xiao Xianqin. Qin Yun can feel that the 9-sun divine hammer is unprecedentedly powerful. The power he poured into it is increased by God knows how many times. It is as if it can destroy the world. Go die. Qin Yun smashed down on the evil Sun Saint Dragon's head. The divine hammer smashed down. A whistling sound echoed in all directions. Its ferocious power looks down on the entire world. The power of the smashing down is like the sun falling to the ground, causing the earth of this space to surge like ocean waves. The surrounding space is also like water ripples. Many ripples appeared. Boom! A loud explosion shook the earth. Evil Sun Saint Dragon let out a blood-curdling scream. The ferocious power poured into his head and tore it apart. A large amount of evil black pus and blood splashed out. Roar! Evil Sun Saint Dragon did not die. He let out a furious roar and spouted a large amount of black poisonous blood from his mouth. After Qin Yun dodged the poisonous blood, he once again swung the divine hammer. He now feels some pain in his arm because the power he used just now was truly too ferocious. If he did not cultivate immortal devil's sacred body, he would not be able to release this kind of dreadful power. At this moment, he gradually realized how powerful the Nether Sun's power is, especially when combined with the Nine Sun Divine Hammer. It became even more ferocious and berserk. Rumble. Qin Yun once again smashed down with the hammer. Formidable berserk power poured into Evil Sun Saint Dragon's head. A shock wave appeared in the sky. The black energy wave brought along Evil Sun Saint Dragon's blood, broken bones, and scales. Along with the shock wave, it rushed to the horizon in all directions, causing the sky to look like it is being enveloped by evil black clouds. When the people below looked at Evil Sun Saint Dragon, they all shouted in shock. Evil Sun Saint Dragon's huge head actually disappeared. It was directly smashed to pieces. The formidable Evil Sun Saint Dragon was actually killed just like that. Qin Yun took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow that was stabbed into Evil Sun Saint Dragon's back. The huge lizard dragon's body also fell to the ground, creating a burst of gale. The heart of the sun suddenly trembled, and an intense golden light shot out. An incomparably berserk dragon power attacked, causing people to feel as if an angry dragon flew out from the sun core. The warrior inside the sun core finally came out, causing the Yang family people to cheer. Qin Yun saw the person who flew out. He is wearing a half mask, covering half of his face. He is a tall and sturdy middle-aged man. He is holding the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand. It looks like an angry dragon coiling around it. It looks like a long golden rod. His body is filled with pure Yang dragon power. It looks like a berserk dragon born from the sun. This middle-aged man is Qin Long. Dad, Qin Yun lightly shouted, feeling a lot relieved. Xiaoyan, I didn't expect you to also come. Good. Qin Long laughed loudly, then rushed to the ground and shouted, I will go deal with those things below. You go unseal the two sun cores. Qin Yun saw Qin Long's familiar expression earlier and realized that Qin Long has recovered his memories. After Qin Long landed, he rushed towards Yang Tianen. With Qin Long joining the battle to deal with those evil dragon generals, Qin Yun felt a lot more at ease. He used floating inscription power and leaped to the top of the other sun core. The Nine Sun Divine Hammer in his hand returned to its original state and fell into slumber again. 10 core fragments can only awaken the Nine Sun Divine Hammer for a moment. Go! Qin Yun poured overwhelming righteous power into the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand and vigorously stabbed towards the sun core enveloped in black gas. After the sun-suppressing divine arrow stabbed forward, it released a power to purify the evil Yang power in the vicinity. Finally, the light golden crystal on the surface can be seen, and at this time, a white shadow appeared on the crystal. Looking carefully, it is a very cute little girl wearing white clothes. It is precisely Xia Qiru who has turned into a little girl. Sister Qiru, Qin Yun shouted. Aya. Xia Qiru tenderly and sweetly smiled at Qin Yun. She is only slightly surprised to see Qin Yun here. Quickly go down and deal with those guys. Qin Yun doesn't have time to speak with Xia Qiru, but he is certain that Xia Qiru has already recovered her memories. Chapter 1459, Devil Slave. Chapter 1459, Devil Slave. Xia Qiru is still a little girl. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand is also very small. It is snow white and looks like a very small white thorn. Xiaoyun, is you well on here too? Xia Qiru asked. She's at the sun core. Qin Yun nodded and said, I'll release her now. You go deal with those evil dragon generals. Xia Qiru hastily landed on the ground and rushed towards Xiao Xianqin. Qin Yun looked at the distant Evil Dragon Mountain and said, Evil Dragon Mountain is the source of all evil. If we don't destroy it, the evil Yang race will continue to send reinforcements. He withdrew his sun-suppressing divine arrow and quickly moved to the vicinity of the last sun core. Just like before, Qin Yun shot out the sun-suppressing divine arrow and released the power of righteous energy, scattering a large amount of evil Yang power. In this way, Xiao Yuelan, who is inside, could come out. Qin Yun originally thought that after scattering the evil yang power, Xiao Yuelon would be able to come out immediately. However, after waiting for a while, he did not see Xiao Yuelon come out. He became anxious and immediately swooped down. Qin Yun has the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand. It can bring him to the core area. Very quickly, Qin Yun entered. Arriving at the stone room in the middle, there's a large amount of black gas inside. Xiao Yuelon released a white energy barrier to resist the invasion of the evil yang power. Xiao Yun. Xiao Yuelon softly shouted when she saw Qin Yun. Yuelon, are you all right? Qin Yun asked anxiously, then walked over and pulled Xiao Yuelon's lily-white hand. I'm fine. You have to be careful. There's a very strong thing inside. Xiao Yuelon said very vigilantly. She tightly held the dark red sun, suppressing divine arrow in her hand, and tightly held Qin Yun's hand. Qin Yun now knows why Xiao Yuelon did not go out. It is because the sun core has been severely eroded, and it even gave birth to a very powerful creature. What's here? Qin Yun used the extinction spirit eye to look around and asked softly. I don't know. I can only sense that thing is very strong. I want to destroy that thing. Xiao Yuelon said. That was what the spirit of the divine arrow told me. He told me to destroy the thing that was bred inside. Qin Yun suddenly thought of the other sun cores. They had previously been invaded by the evil yang power. It was very likely that there was something inside. Yuelon, where is the real sun core? Qin Yun asked. In my body. Not long ago, the heart of the sun sensed danger and temporarily entered my body. Xiao Yuelon said. What exactly happened outside? Xiao Yuelon is also a 9th layer Earth immortal. The Xieyang race attacked the heart-protecting God race's tribe. Qin Yun quickly told Xiao Yuelon about the situation. Xiao Yun, the real heart of the sun, should be safe. However, the outer shell of the sun's core has been invaded by the evil yang energy. It might be used to nurture something, Xiao Yuelon said with a grave expression. Leave this place to me. Enter the outer shell of the other heart of the sun and take a look. Yuelon, are you really all right? Qin Yun is somewhat worried. No problem. Hurry up and take a look. Xiao Yuelon urged. If something is really being nurtured, we can kill it as soon as possible. Qin Yun kissed Xiao Yuelon's forehead and warned, Then you must be careful. You too. Xiao Yuelon kissed Qin Yun's cheek and revealed a sweet smile. Qin Yun hastily went out and returned to the outer shell of the sun's core, where Xie Keru was. And on the battlefield below, with the addition of Xie Keru and Qin Long, the evil dragon generals are also suppressed. The pressure on the Yang family is not that great. Xieyang Patriarch, Su Tiangao, and the others all retreated to the vicinity of the evil Dragon Mountain. They know that the evil Dragon Mountain's reinforcements have arrived. Qin Yun is also very anxious. He wants to know what kind of terrifying thing is being nurtured inside the outer shell of the sun's core. He entered the inner part of the sun's core. The inside is also filled with black gas. It is very dense, as if water can drip out. Just as he entered, the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand began to tremble violently. Suddenly, a very strong aura appeared. Qin Yun is extremely shocked. Just as he was about to dodge, he was still a bit too slow. His back was hit by a very strong power. His backbone feels like it is about to break. He was sent flying. Although his body is in pain, he quickly dodged. When he dodged, a muffled sound came out. There was a power that quickly attacked the wall. He promptly took out the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet and covered himself inside. Rumble. Another very strong power rushed over and hit the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. The heaven and earth devil sealing goblet exploded and a ray of light appeared. Qin Yun saw a person. That person's skin is pitch black. The skin on his body is very rough, like animal skin. He has no eyes, but there are 2 balls of black gas in his eye sockets. 2 long black teeth came out of his mouth. What is that thing? Qin Yun released overwhelming righteous power and illuminated the pitch-black stone room. After the stone room was illuminated, Qin Yun discovered to his astonishment that it is that mysterious black, evil monster. The black, evil monster appeared for a moment, and then its body suddenly disappeared, as if it became invisible. Qin Yun cannot see it, even with Extinction Spirit Eye. Yuner, is there any way? Qin Yun asked. Yes, put away the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet, and then release a very strong gravity to envelop the entire stone room and form a gravity domain. You can sense anything in this domain, Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun promptly put away the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet. Bang! Ling Yuner controlled the super gravity and released it, enveloping the stone room, which is not very big. After the invisible black freak was pressed down, it is as if he fell to the ground and let out a muffled sound. Qin Yun also sensed the location of the black freak. He tightly grabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow, rushed over, and fiercely stabbed. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of stabs have pierced through the black freak's body. When Qin Yun used the sun-suppressing divine arrow, he also released 10,000 Devour ability. He swallowed the black freak's power into the sun-suppressing divine arrow and then burst out when he stabbed. He continuously stabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow many times. It also let out rumbling sounds. Not long after, the mysterious black freak was torn apart by the violent energy. Finally dead, Qin Yun let out a long sigh. At this moment, the sun-suppressing divine arrow suddenly let out a sound. That is the evil Yang devil slave born from evil Yang power. It is a kind of emotionless and very cunning and savage monster. You must be careful, the divine arrow's spirit said. Careful? Didn't I just kill one? Qin Yun said. The outer shell of the sun core itself has a very strong energy. Now that it has been invaded and used by the evil Yang power, it can continue to be created, the divine arrow's spirit said. It would be best if the entire outer shell is destroyed. Can the sun-suppressing divine arrow break the outer shell? Qin Yun asked. Of course you can. Hurry up and go. The divine arrow's spirit urged. Remove the hidden danger inside the outer shell and then work together to deal with the evil Dragon Mountain. As long as you destroy the evil Dragon Mountain, your mission will be accomplished. All right. Qin Yun promptly rushed out of the stone room and arrived in the sky. At this moment, he also saw Xiao Yuelon release the dark red sun, suppressing divine arrow from the outer shell of the sun core. The sun-suppressing divine arrow suddenly became very huge, like a giant pillar. The arrowhead is extremely sharp, and it carried a very dense killing intent. Boom! Xiao Yuelon's dark red sun, suppressing divine arrow, flew high into the sky and fiercely stabbed down, piercing through the outer shell of the sun core. After Qin Yun saw this, he also made his sun-suppressing divine arrow become bigger. Just like Xiao Yuelon, it pierced through the outer shell of the sun core. Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow has devouring power. Now, it is devouring all kinds of energy from the outer shell of the sun core. Because the energy is too berserk, and there's a lot of it, the sun-suppressing divine arrow can no longer withstand it, and suddenly spewed out, destroying the entire outer shell of the sun core. A large number of fragments fell to the ground. It looks like many black meteors are falling down. Yuelon, you go down and deal with the evil dragon generals. I will destroy these two outer shells and go down. Qin Yun shouted. All right. Xiao Yuelon hastily landed on the ground and rushed towards the evil dragon generals. Xiao Yuelon joined the battle. Immediately killing intent filled the sky. The Su family and Xieyang people hiding near the evil dragon mountain are all greatly frightened. Qin Yun, who is flying in the sky, used his enlarged sun-suppressing divine arrow to pierce through the outer shell of the sun core. After devouring the energy, he released it and exploded it. Boom! Very quickly, Qin Yun destroyed another outer shell of the sun core. Other people don't know what Qin Yun is doing, but they know that he must have his reasons for doing this. Above the Heart Protection Divine Race Tribe, there is still another outer shell of the sun core. Now it is filled with dense, evil sun power. Qin Yun controlled the sun-suppressing divine arrow to stab it, but it was actually blocked by the barrier condensed from evil sun power. Qin Long, who was fighting fiercely with the evil dragon generals below, noticed Qin Yun's situation. He punched and kicked the 3 evil dragon generals surrounding him and sent them flying. Then he shouted, "I'll help you." Qin Long threw out the coiling dragon sun-suppressing divine arrow. The sun-suppressing divine arrow suddenly became bigger. A few dragons rushed out of the divine arrow and revolved along with it. Then it transformed into a conical dragon whirlwind. Accompanied by the sun-suppressing divine arrow, it charged towards the outer shell of the sun core. Qin Long's sun-suppressing divine arrow burst out with terrifying power. It is as if there are several dragons accompanying it. The sharp arrowhead condensed boundless dragon power. Rumble. The divine arrow pierced through the barrier condensed from evil sun power and produced a burst of explosive sound. It's done. Qin Yun promptly controlled his sun-suppressing divine arrow to pierce through and devour the energy inside. After Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow devoured enough energy, it exploded out and tore apart the entire outer shell. And now, above the evil sun rays, there is an incomparably pitch-black outer shell of the sun core, which is also the one Qin Yun was in before. Xiao Yun, the outer shell of the sun core, is even stronger. Let's shoot together. Xiao Yuelon suddenly shouted. Chapter 1460. 1460 Chapter 1460 Chapter 1460. Final mission. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon have already shot the sun-suppressing divine arrows in their hands. The sun-suppressing divine arrows originally have divine arrow spirit. Now the divine arrow spirit is controlling the 4 sun-suppressing divine arrows to charge towards the outer shell of the sun core. When the evil dragon generals saw this, they jumped up one after another and attacked the 4 sun-suppressing divine arrows. They want to stop the arrows from destroying the final outer shell of the sun core. Don't even think about succeeding, Qin Yun shouted coldly. Suddenly, many incomparably thick tree vines emerged from the ground. These tree vines are as thick as a water tank. They tied up all the evil dragon generals. The power of the evil dragon generals is very dreadful. They can destroy these tree vines. However, Xiao Yuelon, Xieqiru, and Qin Long are also very strong. After they saw the evil dragon generals being entangled by the tree vines, they flew over in a few blinks of an eye and unleashed their strongest attack. In a split second, all kinds of tyrannical energy surged in all directions. It is unknown how many times this land has been ravaged by these tyrannical energy waves. Originally, this was a flat grassland, but now the grassland has disappeared. There are huge pits and cracks everywhere. Some soil has been pushed up by the energy waves and piled up like a tall mountain. After Qin Long and others joined in, 4 of the 10 evil dragon generals have been crippled. Now only 6 remain. Xiao Xianqin, who has Sacred Saber, also successfully injured an evil dragon general. Now everyone knows that it is very difficult to kill evil dragon generals. At most, they can only cripple them. Even if their hands and feet are broken, they can still release very violent power attacks. Boom! In the distance, the 4 sun-suppressing divine arrows seem to have fused into one and stabbed towards the final black outer shell of the sun core. Xiao xiao xiao. The 4 sun-suppressing divine arrows separated and quickly returned to Qin Yun's and others' hands. After Qin Yun obtained his sun-suppressing divine arrow, his arm suddenly swelled up. He poured Heavenly Lion's power into his arm and tightly held the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He let the Nether Sun totem fuse with the sun-suppressing divine arrow. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand is throbbing with black-purple lightning. Its might is very violent. Hula! He quickly moved in front of one of the evil dragon generals and stabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand. The ferocious aura of the heavenly Tao suddenly became even more terrifying with the might of the heavenly Tao. Die! Qin Yun stabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow into an evil dragon general's chest. The evil dragon general immediately let out a blood-curdling scream. His body was also enveloped by black-purple lightning, and the evil yang energy in his body was quickly devoured by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Boom! The sun-suppressing divine arrow in Qin Yun's hand trembled. Energy burst out, and the evil dragon general's tough body was torn to shreds. As for the dark red sun-suppressing divine arrow in Xiao Yulan's hand, it suddenly surged with ice-cold and intimidating killing intent. That invisible killing intent actually caused space to fluctuate. After stabbing into the evil dragon general's body, the space there suddenly shattered. The evil dragon general's body seemed to be torn apart along with space itself. This was the special ability of Xiao Yulan's sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qinlong's sun-suppressing divine arrow was very simple and crude. A dragon coiled around it, and its might was berserk and ferocious. It stabbed into the evil dragon general's body and exploded with dragon power. Siekaru did not use the sun-suppressing divine arrow to kill the evil dragon general because she had no more to kill. Yang Tianhen and the others from the Yang family saw how powerful the four warriors using the sun-suppressing divine arrow are and sighed repeatedly. They thought that the sun-suppressing divine arrow might have chosen the wrong person, especially when they saw that Qin Yun and Xiao Yulan's cultivation are very low. And now, they finally realized how good the sun-suppressing divine arrow is. The people it chose are all very strong. Only the evil dragon mountain is left. Qin Yun looked at the distant evil dragon mountain and said in a deep voice, "That evil dragon mountain is very sturdy. When I was inside, I tried all kinds of methods, but I couldn't break it." Inside the evil dragon mountain, he used the sun-suppressing divine arrow to attack, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't make a hole in the inner wall. No matter what, we must destroy the entire evil dragon mountain. That is our mission. Qin Long said, "Let's go." Qin Yun put away the floating cloud pagoda and said, "There's a black whirlpool above the evil dragon mountain. It hasn't moved for a long time. We must pay attention to it." Qin Yun, Qin Long, Siekaru, and Xiao Yulan walk in the front with their sun-suppressing divine arrow in hand. The Xieyang race people and Su family people around the evil dragon mountain are all scared out of their wits. Xieyang race leader cursed in low voice. "It's all because of that bastard Qin Yun. If he didn't run out of the evil dragon mountain, the sun core would have been ours long ago." Third elder lost an arm. He angrily cursed. "Isn't it all your fault? Who told you not to kill Qin Yun? How can we do that? We can't let him die so easily." Xieyang race leader shouted. "We didn't lose. Reinforcements will come soon." Su Tiangao saw the four powerful warriors and is very worried that they will be killed by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Will your Xieyang race really come to help? No matter how you look at it, you won't be able to get the sun core. Qin Yun destroyed those sun cores just now. I don't know what he is doing. Su Tiangao said in deep voice. "Those are not the real sun cores. They are definitely not big. Qin Yun was captured by us earlier. The real sun core is with him." Xieyang race leader is now extremely regretful. They were too careless, mainly because they stole a huge shell of the sun core and captured Qin Yun. They became complacent and arrogant. The huge black whirlpool above the evil dragon mountain suddenly spun faster. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Violent wind howled around the evil dragon mountain. The huge black whirlpool in the sky fiercely spewed out thick black clouds. Many black dots suddenly flew down from the black whirlpool. "It's that kind of monster," Xiao Yulan shouted. Qin Yun also saw the kind of Xieyang devil slave inside the sun core. "It's Xieyang devil slave, and there are a lot of them." Qin Yun frowned and said, "Everyone be careful. Those things have very strong defense, very fast speed, and can even hide themselves. Leave it to me." Siekaru, who was in the form of a little girl, suddenly shouted. She threw the snow-white sun-suppressing divine arrow into the sky. The sun-suppressing divine arrow flew towards the empty space in front of them. Now the sky is dark, but it was illuminated by Xie Keru's sun-suppressing divine arrow. Everyone looked at the sun-suppressing divine arrow. They don't know what to do. More than 1,000 Xie devil slaves suddenly appeared. Ha ha ha! It's Xie devil slaves. This is our Xie race's very strong devil slave army. There are over 1,000 of them. They're dead for sure. Xie race leader laughed and said, "This is great. It seems like the higher-ups haven't given up yet. They actually sent such a great force. We will definitely win." The third elder said excitedly. The elders of the Xie race are all very happy and excited. As if they are celebrating a festival, they all believe that they are about to make a comeback. Xie Keru's sun-suppressing divine arrow flew over and suddenly flashed with a burst of white light. Many white light dots suddenly fell down like raindrops and landed on the ground. Looking carefully, one can see that those are many small and exquisite sun-suppressing divine arrows. This is the ability of Xie Keru's sun-suppressing divine arrow. It can turn one sun-suppressing divine arrow into a rain of arrows. Although there are many small and exquisite sun-suppressing divine arrows, after they landed on the ground, they have very strong penetrating power. After they pierced into the bodies of those Xie devil slaves, a small explosion occurred, and the Xie devil slaves exploded from the inside. Seeing the devil slave army explode and die one after another, Xie race leader and the others are so shocked that their mouths are wide open. They are speechless. Originally, they were very happy, but now they immediately fell into deep fear. "Sister Keru, you are so awesome," Qin Yun said with a smile. Xie Keru smiled sweetly. Her appearance is extremely cute. If not for the urgent situation, Qin Yun would have already gone over and pinched her little cheeks. "Kill your way over and destroy the evil dragon mountain," Qin Long suddenly shouted and rushed to the front. Qin Yun is also not to be outdone and hastily followed. The whirlpool above the evil dragon mountain suddenly released black gas again. This time as many huge beasts. Xie Keru's sun-suppressing divine arrow is still in the air. She continued to release the rain of arrows. After Xiao Yuan, Qin Yun and Qin Long went over. Although they were hit by the rain of arrows, their bodies did not feel any pain, and they can even absorb the power of the rain of arrows. The range of the rain of arrows is now even larger. Xie race people and Su family people are all enveloped by it. After the weak people were hit, their bodies immediately exploded. Su Tiangao and Xie race leader can only resist with great difficulty. Qin Yun, who is using floating cloud inscription power, quickly rushed over. Su Tiangao saw Qin Yun and shouted in fear, "Qin Yun, we have no enmity or grievance." "Bullshit," Qin Yun shouted. The sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand has already pierced through Su Tiangao's head. Rumble. With a loud explosion, Su Tiangao exploded. Not far away, Xie race leader saw Su Tiangao was killed in an instant and immediately shivered. Qin Yun suddenly released those iron chains. Following his mental power control, those iron chains quickly rushed out and entered the bodies of those elders. Qin Yun held those iron chains and poured in suffering divine ability power. The elders of the Xie race all let out horrifying cries that reverberated in the surroundings. "And you!" Qin Yun vigorously stabbed with the sun-suppressing divine arrow and stabbed into the back of Xie race leader, who was trying to escape. After Xie race leader was stabbed, he felt that his body's power is quickly flowing away and being devoured by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun walked over, stepped on Xie race leader's back, and poured in suffering divine ability power. Soon after, Xie race leader also let out miserable screams just like those elders. Yang family people heard Xie race leader's miserable screams from far away and revealed happy smiles. Following a series of explosions, those elders and patriarchs were stabbed to death by Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow while in pain. At this time, Qin Long, Xiaoyuan and Siekaru arrived at the foot of Evil Dragon Mountain. Come, use your strongest power to destroy Evil Dragon Mountain, Qinlong said. At this time, Qinlong, Xiaoyuan, and Siekaru released the Sun Core. Qin is somewhat reluctant to release the Sun Core from the Nine Sun Divine Soul. Chapter 1461. Divine Hammer breaks the mountain. We're finally going to destroy the Evil Dragon Mountain, Yang Tianhen said excitedly. As long as the Evil Dragon Mountain was destroyed, this place would be peaceful for a period of time. In the future, it would be very difficult for the Evil Yang race to come over. They would need more time to rebuild the Evil Yang world and Evil Dragon Mountain. Qin looked at the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand. Previously, he thought that the sun-suppressing divine arrow's strength had already reached its peak. However, now that the sun-suppressing divine arrow had fused with the sun's core, it became the most terrifying. That kind of power was not something he could control with his current cultivation. The sun-suppressing divine arrow is very strong. Will we be able to possess this kind of power? Xiaoyuan tightly gripped the violently vibrating sun-suppressing divine arrow and exclaimed, "This should be the strongest divine power, right?" Siekaru suddenly released her hand, letting the sun-suppressing divine arrow fly away. Qinlong, Qin, and Xiaoyuan also released the sun-suppressing divine arrow. The four sun-suppressing divine arrows suddenly gathered together and fused into one. The light released by them instantly purified the surrounding evil Yang power. At this moment, the Xie Yang race members and Su family members who were still struggling at death's door screamed as their bodies quickly melted, turning into puddles of white mud that seeped into the ground. At this moment, most of the evil Yang energy in the evil Yang world has been purified, and the space has become more stable. It could be said that the evil Yang world had already been swallowed by the Heart Yang world. However, that towering and gloomy evil Dragon Mountain still emitted a very strong evil power. In the sky above evil Dragon Mountain, the black whirlpool rotated even faster. The surrounding space was distorted by the black whirlpool's rotation. What's wrong? Qinlong was surprised. Why didn't the sun-suppressing divine arrow attack evil Dragon Mountain? The four sun-suppressing arrows fused into one, and there were even four sun cores inside. Right now, their power was very strong, but they did not shoot towards evil Dragon Mountain. Moreover, the black whirlpool above the evil Dragon Mountain seemed to be even stronger. Whoosh! The fused sun-suppressing divine arrow suddenly separated and returned to the hands of Qin and company. The sun-suppressing divine arrow did not go to destroy the evil Dragon Mountain, which surprised everyone. Qin held the sun-suppressing divine arrow tightly and communicated with the divine arrow spirit. Soon, he received a response from the divine arrow spirit. Evil Dragon Mountain is a trap. The spirit of the divine arrow said, "If we attack the evil Dragon Mountain, then the sun-suppressing arrow and the sun's core will only be devoured by the evil Dragon Mountain. Then the entire evil Dragon Mountain will be taken away by the whirlpool. At that time, the four sun's cores and the sun-suppressing divine arrows will forever be controlled by the evil Yang Palace." When Qin and the other three heard the voice of the divine arrow spirit, they were astonished. It turned out that this was the biggest purpose of the evil Dragon Mountain. The sun-suppressing divine arrow was almost shot out just now. If it really shot out, it would have entered the big trap of the evil Dragon Mountain. Qin has entered the evil Dragon Mountain before. He knows very well how sturdy that mountain is. Four sun-suppressing divine arrows and sun core. If one is truly trapped inside, they will definitely not be able to come out. The huge black vortex in the sky quickly spun and released a very strong spatial energy. It was waiting for Evil Dragon Mountain to succeed and then take back Evil Dragon Mountain. Fortunately, the spirit of the divine arrow had discovered the trap just now. "Then what do we do now?" asked Qin. I still don't know. Be careful. get ready, something is coming. The divine arrow's spirit said. Qin Yun quickly took out the floating cloud pagoda and let Yang Tianhen and the others bring them in. There are not many people left in the Yang family, only a few hundred. When they saw the grave expression of Qin Yun and the other three, they knew that something unexpected had happened. The huge black vortex in the sky suddenly let out a burst of woo-woo-woo-woo cry. It seems like something very powerful is coming over. Let's disperse, Qin Long suddenly shouted. Qin Yun and the others immediately did as they were told. Boom! Indeed, something came over from the black vortex. It is a black shadow. It fiercely smashed the place they just landed on and burst out a burst of violent black energy wave. After the black energy disappeared, the place where they just landed was smashed into a huge crater. What is that thing? Inside the floating cloud pagoda, Yang Tianhen looked at the huge crater. Golden light suddenly overflowed from the huge crater. This is somewhat beyond everyone's expectations because most of the things coming out of the black vortex are black. They saw a person holding a golden long sword and wearing golden armor slowly walk out. That man looks like a normal person, and he is also quite handsome. He has a pair of dark blue eyes. The armor on his body and the long sword in his hand all emitted a very dense aura of divine power. That is, divine tool. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed. We almost succeeded. The man who walked out looked at the evil dragon mountain and said coldly, I didn't expect that the idiots we sent here would all be exterminated. Truly a bunch of trash. To think that our evil Yang Palace gave them so many resources. Qin Long shouted, Your evil Yang Palace worked so hard for so long, but you didn't get anything. Aren't you also trash? The man looked at Qin Long and said with sneer, That's because we haven't gotten serious yet. Now, you are forcing us to get serious, so you are courting death. How can we destroy the evil dragon mountain? You seem to have some ability. You can barely be considered something. You should have some status in the evil Yang Palace, right? You must know how to destroy the evil dragon mountain. Qin Long said again. Hee. The man laughed loudly. Are the humans of the lower realms all so stupid and arrogant? Sun's heart actually chose stupid and arrogant people like you to help. You are truly courting death. Qin Long also laughed loudly and said, The stupid and arrogant people are the trash of your evil Yang Palace. You sent so many pieces of trash over just to loosen our bones. That's all. You truly think highly of those trash. It can be seen that your evil Yang Palace's upper echelons are the truly stupid and arrogant ones. Arrogant. The man suddenly shouted in anger and arrived in front of Qin Long in a blink of an eye. At the same time, he slashed down with his sword. When he attacked, a burst of sword images flashed out like a gale and a huge wave, strangely attacking Qin Long from all directions. Qin Long spun the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand and swept out a few violent golden light storm. Within the storm, there are many angry dragons roaring and attacking the gale and the huge wave. Two terrifying powers collided. The entire Heart Yang realm immediately felt as if heaven and earth collapsed. Qin Long and the man were also sent flying far away. You have some skill. Qin Long looked at the man in the distance and said with sneer, With this kind of power, you are completely unworthy of your arrogance just now. You look like an idiot. That man is very angry. He indeed underestimated the strength of the people here. Qin Long shouted at Qin Yun, Son, I'll leave this guy to you. I don't feel like taking action. All right. Qin Yun spoke, then his eyes shot out a white light. He used light, transformation, sacred pupil, and rushed over. That man saw how young Qin Yun is, and his face immediately became filled with disdain. Just as he was about to attack, he suddenly sensed a very strong power pressing down on him. Qin Yun used supergravity to press down on that man. That man is wearing a divine tier armor. His defense is very strong. However, Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow is also not weak. Moreover, that man's cultivation is only 9th layer earth immortal. After Qin Yin arrived, he took advantage of the fact that the man is being pressed down by supergravity and fiercely thrusted an arrow. When he thrusted, his arm suddenly swelled up. He used heavenly Tao, ferocious power, and Nether Sun Totem appeared. Nether Sun Totem and Sun Totem of the divine arrow instantly interweaved and burst out a very strong power. H. That man let out a miserable scream. His chest has been pierced through. He really did not expect that his formidable divine tier armor would be pierced through in one go. What is even more terrifying is that the power within his body is being quickly devoured by the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Sun-suppressing divine arrow is devouring the formidable power. It slightly trembled and then burst out with power. Boom! Sun-suppressing divine arrow very quickly released the tyrannical power it devoured and produced a burst of very strong explosion. Qin Yin tightly grabbed the sun-suppressing divine arrow. He was sent flying by the explosion and rolled a few times on the ground. That man's body is very dreadful. He did not explode into pieces. Qin Yin rushed over again. He wanted to attack, but the black vortex suddenly shot out a black light that enveloped that man's body and took him away. We must quickly exterminate the evil dragon mountain. If more of those guys come, we won't be able to stop them. Qin Long said. Qin Yin took out the 9-sun divine hammer, then took out 20 inner core fragments and let it absorb them. After the 9-sun divine hammer absorbed them, it immediately woke up. Just as Qin Yin was preparing to use the 9-sun divine hammer to attack the evil dragon mountain, the sun cores inside the 4 divine arrows suddenly ran out and entered the 9-sun divine hammer. The 9-sun divine hammer in Qin Yin's hand suddenly became bigger. The power inside it surged violently. What caused Qin Yin to be most apprehensive is that after the power of the 4 sun cores entered his body, Nether Sun's power crazily released. Now it seems like Nether Sun's strongest power has burst out. Ling Yun yelled, Xiao Yun, your body is stabilized by 4 sun cores. Nether Sun's power can be completely released. The 9-sun divine hammer that has become bigger is also covered by Nether Sun totems. The surface of the divine hammer is emitting golden light, and there are many black Nether Sun totems. Qin Yin feels that his body is like a divine body. The sun cores have bestowed him formidable divine power, allowing him to control unprecedented formidable power. He tightly held the 9-sun divine hammer with both hands, rushed over, and smashed the huge base of the evil dragon mountain. A golden power immediately poured into the evil dragon mountain, causing some cracks to appear on the surface of the evil dragon mountain. Boom! 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 Qin Yin loudly roared and crazily smashed the evil dragon mountain. Golden cracks appeared on the surface of the black evil dragon mountain. The power released by the divine hammer poured into the evil dragon mountain and tore the evil dragon mountain apart. Finally, the evil dragon mountain fiercely trembled. Along with a loud explosion, fragments of the evil dragon mountain exploded everywhere. The moment the evil dragon mountain exploded, Qin Yin saw a golden ball. It looks like a god altar origin crystal. Chapter 1462. Magic Mirror deactivated. The evil dragon mountain was finally destroyed. The black whirlpool in the sky also let out an angry curse. Just you wait. You are all the number 1 enemies of my evil Yang Palace. Evil Dragon Mountain was destroyed, exploding out many broken black rocks, and after falling to the ground, they were absorbed by the earth. At this moment, Qin Yun's 9-sun divine hammer also returned to its original state. The 4 sun cores flew out and floated in the air. They absorbed the power of the earth and quickly condensed a layer of faint golden crystal shell. In an instant, they became like 4 large crystal stars that floated in the air. The black whirlpool in the sky above Evil Dragon Mountain also gradually disappeared, leaving behind only a vicious aura filled with anger and resentment. The light released by the sun's core completely purified the remaining evil yang energy. At this moment, The heart-yang realm has become extremely stable. After the sun core left the nine-sun divine hammer, Qin Yun felt as if he had been hollowed out. His body went limp, and he almost couldn't stand steadily. Xiao Yuelon hurriedly walked over to support him and said softly, "Xiao Yun, are you all right?" She quickly injected an Earth Immortal's power into Qin Yun's body. "It's nothing. I consumed too much energy just now." This is the first time Qin Yun feels that his Nether Sun is so weak. Now he knows how terrifying the Nether Sun's power is. No wonder he has been suppressed all this time. This kind of power is not something his body and mind can control. Qin Long laughed. "I've finally accomplished my mission." "Haha, Dad, Sister Kuru, why did you lose your memories back then? Why did you come to Immortal Desolate?" Qin Yun asked. "It's a long story. The Cloud Dragon Mountain Range has been invaded, and a large group of Xieyang race people have come." Qin Long said, "Fortunately, the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is hiding a very mysterious and powerful power. Even if it is invaded by the Xieyang race, it is still filled with danger, and they cannot do whatever they want inside." At that moment, Qin Yun recovered a bit of his strength. He looked at the petite and adorable Xie Kiru and asked, "Sister Kiru, what exactly is hidden in the Immortal Graveyard?" Qin Long knew Xie Kiru. He was the one who invited Xie Kiru to be the Grand Preceptor. "It's nothing. It's just that the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range is a little special." Xie Kiru smiled sweetly and said, "Everyone is tired. Let's rest first." With a glance, Qin Yun knew that Xie Kiru did not intend to say it. "Aya, what's wrong with the sun-suppressing divine arrow?" Xie Kiru looked at the sun-suppressing divine arrow in her hand and shouted in surprise, "It's not shining anymore." Qin Long also frowned. "Really? Why was this happening? You become useless?" Suddenly, a voice came from the sky. It was the voice of the divine arrow's spirit. "According to what we agreed before, you have accomplished your mission. The sun-suppressing divine arrow is also given to you." The sun-suppressing divine arrow was connected to the heart of the sun. Now, the sun-suppressing divine arrow is yours. So it has been severed from the sun core and will no longer absorb its power. "What do you mean? The sun-suppressing divine arrow has turned into scrap metal?" Qin Long said unhappily. "You need to start refining the sun-suppressing divine arrow." As for the sun-suppressing divine arrow itself, it was refined using many top-notch divine-grade materials and is still very sturdy. The divine arrow's spirit chuckled and said, "Don't worry, there's a sun totem inside the sun-suppressing divine arrow. You can comprehend how to cultivate the sun core through the mysterious sun totem." Qin Yun can indeed feel the sun totem. He cannot see it directly, but it is a very wonderful feeling that he can feel it. Also, the sun-suppressing divine arrow is the token to enter the Nine-Yang Divine Palace in the future. When you come into contact with the Nine-Yang Divine Palace in the future, you will know the greatest use of the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Thank you for protecting the sun core. In the following period of time, you must seize the time to become stronger and pass through the great nirvana era. The divine arrow's spirit said again. The people inside the floating cloud pagoda also came out. Yang Tianhin and the others were originally severely injured, but after being illuminated by the sun core, they gradually recovered. "Qin Yun, enter the highest floor of the pagoda. I have something to say to you." The divine arrow's spirit said again. "All right." Qin Yun entered the 20th floor of the floating cloud pagoda. On the 20th floor of the floating cloud pagoda, there's a small statue that is currently emitting golden light. Divine arrow's spirit. "What is the relationship between this small statue and me?" Qin Yun asked. "This is you, you are him. This small statue is the divine position of the sun god." The divine arrow's spirit said, "You once obtained the position of sun god. That's why you have this statue." "What?" Qin Yun is extremely shocked. The star god previously said that he might be one of the candidates to compete for the divine position. But now, what he did not expect is that he has already obtained the divine position of the sun god. Very surprised, right? I'm also very surprised. You have reincarnated several times, yet you can still obtain the nine-sun divine hammer and the divine position of the lost sun god. I don't know if this is a coincidence or if it is fate. The divine arrow's spirit side. Am I really the sun god? Chinyan does not dare to believe it. Yes, and also the shortest life, the weakest, the worst sun god. Just as you obtained the divine position, you were killed. The divine arrow spirit said with a smile. It seems that you have a chance to become the sun god from the new divine position, but now the world is not far from complete annihilation. There might only be 1,000 years left. The divine position is also meaningless. Chinyan suddenly thought of something. He took out the white jade hexagonal disc and asked, Divine Arrow's spirit, is the Sun Emperor inscription spirit sealed inside? Yes, the Divine Arrow's spirit said in shock. You can actually obtain this unique inscription spirit. A unique inscription spirit? Qin Yun asked doubtfully. Star-Lord and Moon Lady were originally unique, but later on, someone broke the iron law of nature and was able to refine them. The Divine Arrow's spirit said. Only the Sun Emperor inscription spirit has never been refined by anyone before and has never been obtained by anyone. Can you help me open it? Qin Yun asked somewhat excitedly. I can't. This is originally a seal of the power of nature. If you want to obtain it, you can only rely on yourself. The Divine Arrow's spirit said. Qin Yun is very disappointed. He thought that the Divine Arrow's spirit would be able to help him open it. The Sun Core is very weak. The 9 suns and 9 desolate give birth to powerful creatures, but they are coveted by many powerful creatures. The Divine Arrow's spirit sighed and said, You guys are on your own. After the Divine Arrow's spirit's voice disappeared, it did not appear again. Qin Yun asked a few questions. He wanted to ask about the situation of the other people who possessed the sun-suppressing divine arrow. After he walked out of the floating cloud pagoda, he stored it. The Heart-Yang realm quickly recovered. The potholes from before have all disappeared, and a large grassland once again appeared. Suddenly, a very strong spatial power appeared. Qin Long, Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelon, Xiao Xianqin, and Xia Kuru suddenly disappeared from the Heart-Yang realm. After they arrived outside, they found themselves in a blue forest. This is the Blue Leaf Sacred Forest. They have returned to the immortal desolate. We've been tricked. I thought I could obtain a very powerful sun-suppressing divine arrow, but I never expected it to turn into this kind of broken thing. Qin Long looked at the sun-suppressing divine arrow in his hand and said with a look of disgust. He wanted to give it to Qin Yun, but Qin Yun told him to keep it. Dad, why did you lose your memories back then? Qin Yun is still very curious about this matter. Qin Long is still wearing a mask. He is currently tidying up the mask and said, There was a mysterious power that secretly helped us cross the 7th tribulation of half immortal and become immortals. And at that time, we were still in the Cloud Dragon mountain range, unable to enter the immortal desolate. But later on, we found a passage in the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Through that passage, we arrived at the immortal desolate and lost our memories. However, the sun's core has always been guiding us to do one thing. That is to obtain the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Xia Kuru and Qin Long were actually able to cultivate to immortal ascension in a place like the Cloud Dragon mountain range that is lacking in resources. This is indeed inconceivable. Mysterious power? Where did this mysterious power come from? Xiao Yuelon asked. I don't know. At that time, I was wandering around the Cloud Dragon mountain range, looking for the immortal graveyard. Then I met Grand Preceptor Xia. She turned into a little girl. I didn't even recognize her at that time. Qin Long said with a smile. Xia Kiru actually turned into a little girl in the Cloud Dragon mountain range. Dad, what are your plans next? Qin Yun asked. I want to become stronger. Grand Preceptor Xia said that as long as I enter the immortal graveyard, I can save your mother. I want to go in and save her. Qin Long looked at Xia Kuru and said, Grand Preceptor Xia, when can we enter the immortal graveyard? Siekaru shook her head and said, "Now is not the time. It is impossible for us to return to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. That should be the evil Yang realm. If we want to return to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range, we need to grasp a very strong power and open a spatial passage. If we can go back, will there be any cultivation restrictions in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range?" Xiao Xianqin asked. "No," Siekaru said. "That's why we don't even know how strong the evil forces in the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range are." Qinyan walked over and pinched Siekaru's tender and cute little face. He said with a smile, "Sister Karu, what kind of good things are there in the immortal graveyard?" After Siekaru turned into a little girl, she is very cute. When Qinyan saw her, he wanted to pinch her tender face. "There's nothing good, it's just that my body is sealed inside." Siekaru smiled charmingly and opened Qinyan's hand. "As long as I can find my body, I will no longer be a little girl. I think you're pretty good like this," Qinyan said with a smile. He wanted to pinch that little face, but Siekaru immediately hid behind Xiao Yuelon and hugged her thigh. Qin Long said, "Xiao Yun, have you heard of Nether Sect? I want to join Nether Sect. I met a guy who claims to be the sect leader of Nether Sect. He also has sun-suppressing divine arrow. He said that I can join him in the future." Nether Sect? It's a very good place. I know that sect leader. After you see him, just tell him my name," Qin Yun said with smile. "When the time comes, you will surely be very surprised. Good son, you are mingling very well. You actually know that kind of awesome person." Qin Long said with smile, "All right, I will go to Nether Sect now. We will meet again later." Qin Long finished speaking, leapt towards a direction, and disappeared into the forest in the blink of an eye. "Dad!" Qin Yun still has some words to say. He promptly took out the Devil Mirror to contact Qin Long, but he discovered that the Devil Mirror is no longer working. "What's going on? The Devil Mirror is useless." Qin Yun yelled in alarm. Soon after, Xiao Yuelon and others took out the Devil Mirror one after another. "It is indeed useless. It is as if it is broken. They can't see anything." Qin Yun's expression suddenly became grave. He suspects that a mortal Emperor Devil Mirror has been killed by someone, causing the entire formation base to be destroyed. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.